All the documents have been filed. You can testify if you want, but the district attorney thinks it's not needed because they have your written statement. Alex and I believe that your silence shows how trapped you felt when they came for you. Dan. Things got messy with everyone pointing fingers. Since so many were involved, it was clear who did what, making it easier to sort out the charges against each person. Do you have any questions for me? Me. I've been thinking about what will happen to my family's house. They still owe money on the mortgage. Will it go into foreclosure? Or can I clear it out, fix it up, and sell it? I want to take my things to Alex's place first. Then I'd like to go through everything so I can pack up what's important and keep it safe until they're done with it, however long that takes. They didn't treat me well, but they did give me a home when I was in need. Dan. We should discuss the house with Brian, the lawyer. But yes, you can get your things and store the rest. You might need their signatures since they would be losing their house. But if there's any money to be made from it, they can have that. It also depends on whether you can get any money back for fixing it first. Me. Thank you. I'll have to borrow from Alex to make repairs, but I think he'll be okay with that. Dan. Here's some advice. Don't ask Alex for a loan. I mean it. You're important to him, and he might take it the wrong way if you ask. You're planning to pay him back with the sale of the house anyway. Just ask if he can help you, and let him decide if he wants to be repaid and how. Trust yourself on this. Me. Okay, I understand. Thanks for the advice. I'll be careful. I appreciate your help. Have you ever woken up feeling really upset because of a dream? On Thursday morning, Anna faced a tough start. Even though Dan and Brian had reassured her, her worries seeped into her dreams. She dreamed that she was homeless. She dreamed that Brian told Alex how he had supported her when she was feeling down. Alex got very upset and left her right away for what he thought was a betrayal. He then told Caroline, who also decided to break up with Brian. In her dream, Caroline's parents wanted her to sign a marriage agreement to be with Alex. For her to do that, she had to pay all her medical bills from the time she got sick, including the costs for the doctors and nurses who had helped her. When Anna woke up, she cried because she felt she would never earn enough money to pay everyone. She felt terrible about it. Before Tony arrived to wake her up and bring breakfast, Anna rushed to the bathroom and took a shower to cry without Tony noticing. She wasn't sure if Tony really didn't see her sadness, but all Tony asked was how she had slept and if the breakfast looked good that day. Anna's sadness from her dreams turned into frustration as she thought about her sessions with Susan. She understood it would take time, but it felt like it was taking too long, and she was very annoyed. Walking into the meeting room, Anna felt frustrated. She sat down with her arms crossed. Susan, sitting across from her, looked at her with concern. You don't seem yourself today. Do you want to share what's wrong? Anna looked around and saw that the paper and pencil Susan usually had on the table were missing. She rolled her eyes and kept her arms folded. All right then, Susan said firmly. Let's start with some breathing exercises. Anna didn't mean to be in a bad mood. She tried to use the exercises to feel better, but it didn't help. Okay, let's focus on these, Susan suggested, moving a notebook in front of Anna. Anna glanced down and saw the 3 goals she had written. She shook her head and pushed the notebook back to Susan. Raising an eyebrow, Susan set the notebook aside and leaned back. That's unusual for you. What's going on? Did something happen? Anna tried to shake her head no, but Susan suddenly slapped her hand on the table. Hey, speak to me. You've been working hard all week and doing well. What's the issue? I can't just sit back while you have a fit because things are tough. You are capable of more. Let's talk. Why are you yelling at me? Anna said softly. I'm just in a bad mood, she explained. I'm upset because Alex is not around. I had bad dreams and I feel alone. I haven't been able to speak for a month and getting my voice back is difficult. I don't just want to say his name, thank you, or I love you. I want to say everything. Susan smiled and leaned back, giving Anna a moment to realize what she had just expressed out loud with her own voice. Then it clicked for her. Did I? Yes, Anna. You can set aside the notepad and the laptop. It's time for you to start coming back to the real world. She reached over and took Anna's hand. Welcome back. Anna shook her head and cried. I would like to see you 2 to 3 times a week for the next 3 weeks, if that works for you. After that, we will talk about what else we might need to do and how often we should meet. Can Can I give you a hug? Anna jumped up and met Susan at the end of the table. They hugged tightly. When they pulled apart, Susan smiled and gently rubbed Anna's shoulders and arms. I'm so proud of you. We can meet this afternoon for a few minutes in your room. Take a break. Eat something special. Relax. You deserve it. Anna took in everything Susan said. In the early afternoon, she went to the bathroom for a hot shower. After drying off and combing her hair, she pressed a button to ask Sonia if she would help style her hair. She also put lotion on her skin to keep it from getting dry. She ordered Mexican food and paid with her debit card. She hadn't checked her bank account lately, but she felt good when the person on the phone confirmed everything was fine and said it would take about half an hour. That night, Anna went to bed early, hugging her pillow as always. She was learning to speak again, practicing quietly whenever she was alone. She really looked forward to seeing Alex. Each day was a step closer to having him home, right? Anna was rescued on Friday, January 29th at 5:05 p.m. She had been in a private room on a special floor, receiving the best care available. While she was healing, she was also working hard in speech therapy. Alex leaned back in a chair in her room, carefully balancing so his feet rested on the edge of her bed without disturbing her. He checked his phone. It was 3 a.m. on Friday, February 5th. Sonia had told him that Anna had been sound asleep since around 9 p.m. The nurse mentioned that Anna missed Alex greatly, but she tried her best not to show it. However, Alex knew from talking to Dan and Brian, and from the messages she sent him in her app, that her heart was heavy thinking about him. He was everything to her, especially since so much of what she once called home and family was gone. She understood that Alex was the reason she had been rescued, but he wasn't there with her. Dan told Alex how he explained to Anna about the plans to take her away for money and shared the names of those who were arrested. He also talked about the problems with each of the 5 girlfriends because, as Alex always said, honesty is the best way to go. It was important to understand why Alex acted the way he did. After his last girlfriend, Alex had once told his friends Brian, Eric, Paulie, and Terry that he wished he could meet a girl who couldn't talk. He was feeling upset and didn't really mean it. However, this remark led him to Anna, and he would never regret saying it. Even though someone had tried to deceive him to take his money, it ultimately brought him to the love of his life, and he truly loved her. What Dan didn't tell Anna, because Alex wanted to share the news himself, was about the sale of his business. Just as there was a plan to cause trouble in Alex's life by trying to take $3 million from him, Alex had a strategy in place to make the best of selling his company. In November of the previous year, there had been some buzz in the business world about interest in buying Xander McKellen. Dan looked into it further and found that the interest was real, so he kept monitoring any new inquiries. When he discovered that a shell company was inquiring, he dug deeper. It turned out that Mariah had unknowingly revealed one of her father's secrets to Alex. While they were getting to know each other one night, she mentioned that her father used to call her Chrysalis when she was little. More recently, he had started calling her Danaide. When Alex asked what it meant, she blushed and explained it was another name for the monarch butterfly. She also mentioned that her father had a fondness for butterflies and named his shell companies after them. Alex was eager to leave his business behind, especially after all the trouble he had faced from Mariah. What better way to get back at Mariah and her father than to sell the business back to him? Alex played his part carefully and kept all his employees unaware of his plans to sell. When asked about it, they genuinely had no idea what was happening. Even though the buyers assured Alex that the employees would be treated well after the sale, Alex smiled and replied that he was sure they would be okay. In the packets sent to each employee's homes, there was a letter of recommendation along with an honest explanation about the sale. There was also a note suggesting they reach out to a financial planner named Eric Thompson when they had the chance. If the employee decided to leave and enjoy their well-deserved payout or stay with the new company that took over, Alex wished them a happy life. He thanked every employee for their hard work during his time as the owner, saying that the company wouldn't have been successful without them. He hoped they would appreciate his farewell gesture. Alex also invested in a new company being started by his talented intern, seeing a lot of potential in her. He shared his knowledge with her, and after he sent out the employee packets, he also wrote letters to all his clients explaining the sudden sale of his company. He recommended the new company, believing they would serve the clients just as well, if not better. As Alex remembered his final talks with Xander McLean, he smiled. He shifted in the chair beside Anna's bed, trying not to reach out to her. He wanted her to wake up and see him there without waking her. Although Anna was always grateful and kind to every nurse and doctor who visited, it was clear her heart felt heavy, and according to the nurse's thoughts, she missed Alex a lot. Alex nodded and thanked Sonia again for her hard work in caring for Anna during the past week. He returned to his business thoughts. He had a meeting at 10 a.m. on Friday, January 29th, just 2 hours before the signing of the sale. He spoke briefly with every team member, sharing important information. He reminded them to check their bank accounts, as most had not realized they were now millionaires. Every employee present that day, from managers to janitors, received $1 million deposit in their accounts. He sincerely thanked everyone in the room, expressing that he could not have done this without their support. He also mentioned that if they chose to leave XM, the new company was looking for people willing to help build it. Each employee had already received a letter of recommendation, so it was up to them to decide whether to enjoy their savings or embark on a new adventure. Alex signed all the necessary papers and shook hands with all the executives who had come for this significant event. He had emptied his office and taken away any signs of his ownership that morning. Through this tough time, Alex had to stay calm and believe that the men holding his girl wouldn't harm her. He also hoped that all the other people he had contacted since Anna was taken would act quickly. Dan was managing the situation, and the police contacts Dan had connected with since the kidnapping began were ready to help. 8 people were caught and taken into custody, with one being hard to find because he was passed out from drinking in his basement, feeling guilty about what he had done. When the police broke into his aunt and uncle's house, they followed the smell and had to lift him to take him away. Alex left the money in the agreed spot as instructed. After checking with his bank, he got the weight of $3 million in small bills so that the suitcases would feel exactly right, even though he doubted the others would notice. The suitcases were filled with bricks and $600 in cash, with a few bills sticking out to make them look full. The collector approached the cases, checked them, nodded, and attached a piece of paper to the bottom of one case. This paper showed where Anna was. Just as the collector thought he had succeeded, police arrived and took him out of the park while Dan grabbed the paper and contacted the right people. When the police found Anna, she was still tied up and crying. Most of the men holding her surrendered peacefully as paramedics rushed in to untie her and help her into the ambulance parked nearby. The moment Anna got into the ambulance, Dan called Alex to let him know she was safe and on her way to the hospital for care. A team of nurses and doctors was ready to help her. When Dan told Alex that she had arrived and was not as hurt as they expected, and that she had seen the doctors, Alex nearly cried with relief. He knew recovery would take time, but Dr. Mitchell assured Dan that she would fully regain her voice. By the time Dan called his godson, Alex was already on his private jet, heading to Wisconsin to buy one of the 3 houses he planned for retirement. After that purchase, he went to a small town near Savannah, Georgia, where he found a lovely place that he was sure Anna would enjoy. And finally, he was off to Breckenridge, Colorado, where he had chosen a cozy condo to buy right on the slopes. There, he and Anna could enjoy the snow, sit by the fire, and relax together, feeling more in love than ever before. Alex had worked hard to achieve all he had, but he felt most thankful for the wonderful gift of their relationship. In every place they called home, they dreamed about opening a small restaurant once Anna finished her cooking training and honed her skills. Just as Alex was lost in thought about their future, Anna stirred in her bed and sat up. Since Alex was sitting quietly in the corner, she didn't see him as she got up and walked to the bathroom. She wasn't expecting to find him there. Alex stood up, stretched, and tried to keep calm since he was so eager to hold her again. He hoped she would be just as happy to see him. He walked over to the bed and stood by the bathroom door. When the door opened, Anna came out, looking down until the last moment. When she met Alex's gaze, she stopped, shook her head, wiped her eyes, and looked at him once more. "Alex? Alex?" she exclaimed and ran to him. arms wide open. "Hey, sweetheart," he replied, catching her as she jumped into his arms. They hugged tightly, and he could feel her trembling. "I'm here, Anna. I won't leave you again, I promise," he assured her. "Alex," she whispered, "I've missed you so much." "Anna," he said, holding her even closer, "I didn't realize how much I needed this. I made sure you were in good hands, and I've been busy getting ready for us to be together from now on. I have so much to share with you. I'm sorry for not calling, but I couldn't let anything distract me. Once I knew you were safe, I focused on making our future bright. I can't wait to show you everything." "I can talk again," she said softly, almost to herself. "I get tired easily, but I'm getting stronger every day." "I can see that," he replied, sitting on the bed to hold her and look into her eyes. "My girl," he said, gently cupping her cheek. Anna leaned in close to him. "Alex," she whispered, brushing her lips near his to see if he would kiss her. "Anna," he breathed, slowly bringing his lips to hers. When she tilted her head, he kissed her deeply. Each time he thought about stopping, her soft sounds encouraged him to keep kissing, enjoying the moment together. Finally, he paused to catch his breath. "What do you think about enjoying the quiet time we have in this room?" I told Sonia that it might be a chance, and she smiled, saying she wouldn't have expected anything different. "You interested in this?" Anna asked playfully while pointing at herself. "Did you miss me?" "I missed you a lot, sweet girl," Alex replied with a grin. "And yes, I did," he said, admiring her confidence. He stood up after setting her down and closed the blinds once he had locked the door to their room. Alex reached for the bottom of his shirt when Anna surprised him by taking hold of his hands. "Let me," she said, and started lifting his shirt. She stepped closer and kissed his chest. Her hands moved along his sides and back, making him feel excited to show Anna how much he had missed her. Before too long, their clothes were scattered around the room. Alex finally joined with Anna, and they both expressed their joy together. After they had both felt satisfied, Anna lay next to Alex, running her fingers along his chest. Every now and then, Alex would lightly tap her side to get her attention, and they would share a deep kiss. He did this 3 times. After the 3rd time, Anna sat up and moved onto Alex, helping them both feel a pleasure they had never experienced before. As they cuddled together and got comfortable to sleep, Anna looked up at him and sighed. "Alex," she said softly, "thank you." "For what, sweetheart?" "For talking to me at the bar and for everything since then. Alex, I love you." "I love you too, my girl," he replied, and kissed her gently. "No more talking now. Let's sleep. We have a big day ahead." Alex pulled her close and smiled as he heard her soft snores, which he loved. He reached for his phone and texted Dan and Brian. "Friday, February 5th, 4:30 a.m. Me. I'm home. I'm with my girl. Mission 1 accomplished. Mission 2 is set for tonight at 6 p.m. Please spread the word, Brian, to your team and Dan to yours. Thanks for all the help with this." Dan. "You got it. I'm going to wait until the sun comes up, but I'll tell everyone as agreed." Brian. "Wow, man, it's 4:30. I need to put my phone on vibrate. Have you been up all night? I'll get the word out. Glad you're back." Me. "Give me a break, Bri. I got here after 2 a.m. and came straight here. But yes, twice since I know what you're really asking. Even better than before." Dan. "Private chats, gentlemen. I see her as like a daughter, you know. But I'm really happy for you, Alex. You deserve it." Alex chuckled, leaned down to kiss Anna's head, and closed his eyes. His alarm was set for 7:30 a.m. This gave them enough time to enjoy a long shower, do some fun things, and get dressed before breakfast was brought to them. Once they were ready, Alex adjusted the blinds in the room and unlocked the door while Anna made her bed. He was determined they would sit in the chairs that morning because if they returned to bed, he might get ideas. They had things to do, plans to make, and a home to get back to. For some reason, Sonia, Stephen, and Tony all came in with breakfast and a bag of freshly washed clothes for Anna. Alex wasn't sure why all 3 were there, but Anna looked at them with a knowing smile. Stephen lowered the tray so they could eat together in the chairs. Meanwhile, Tony went to the bathroom to collect personal items and put them in the bag with the clothes, ready for their trip later that afternoon. "Good morning, Mr. McAleen," Tony said warmly. "Welcome home. We're so glad to see you back, especially with Miss Lopez. Anna tilted her head playfully, which made Sonia and Stephen laugh. I mean, we're really happy you're back with Anna. No formalities? Alex asked, while he sipped his coffee. Oh, just the way I like it. How'd you know? He asked Sonia, who relaxed nearby. Anna told us what you'd enjoy for breakfast when you arrived, Sonia said and winked at Anna. Anna smiled and took another bite of her eggs. Unless you need us for anything else, Stephen added. Susan is expecting you both in her session room when you're done. Enjoy your meal. We'll check back in about an hour when Doctors Mitchell and Salas are ready to see you for your final assessment before you go home. Thank you, Alex replied with a nod. The three nurses left the room, leaving the two of them alone. After finishing his meal, Alex turned to Anna and noticed she still had some food on her plate. He excused himself to talk with Susan before the session. Anna nodded and leaned up as Alex bent down to give her a sweet kiss. Well, you must be Alex, Susan said when he entered her room. Do you prefer Mr. McKee? Alex is fine, thank you, he replied, holding up a hand to stop her. Susan shook his hand and smiled at him. I came to discuss Anna's healing progress and our plans for the next few weeks. Great, Susan said, pointing to a table where a calendar was laid out. They both took a seat, and Alex began explaining the upcoming plans. He outlined what they had for that weekend, and then shared ideas about their homes in different states and the time he wanted to spend with her. Susan nodded and took some notes. Well, if you plan to stay in those places for at least 5 days each, I could fly there and make a trip to each one, Susan said thoughtfully. I have a lot of vacation time, and my friend has been encouraging me to take a break from work. The truth is, I enjoy my job, so it's a hard request to think about. This would let me do my work and also spend time with my good friend. That's true, Alex agreed with a nod. I'm pretty sure if I offered to pay for the whole trip, she would say yes. You're welcome to join us on the private jet between places. I can also arrange a hotel for you at each spot. Oh, that's very generous, Susan said slowly as she picked up her pencil that had fallen to the floor. Are you certain? She still needs the therapy, right? Alex explained and nodded. Please talk with your friend and let me know. This next week will be busy with home matters and 2 one-hour sessions with you. But our trips start on the 14th. I've already made dinner plans in Georgia for Valentine's Day. Yes, I will do that, Susan replied quickly, then waved at Anna as she came to the doorway, unsure if she should come in. There she is, she said excitedly, gesturing for Anna to sit next to Alex. Since this is our last meeting until next week, I thought I could join your conversation. If I notice anything Alex can help you with, or anything you, Anna, can work on, I'll politely jump in. Now, Anna, I think I've seen that you've started breathing exercises regularly before we sit down. Have you added them to your daily routine? Anna nodded. Great. Well, Alex, I want you to encourage her to avoid writing unless her throat is sore from too much effort. You've probably noticed that her speech isn't as clear as it usually is. Every day, I want you, Anna, to focus on saying words clearly, especially those with 2 or more syllables. You're making wonderful progress, and I want that to continue. I have more questions, Alex said, suggesting a topic for them to discuss. We spent the first 4 days getting to know each other with questions. I thought of some while I was away. Great, Susan replied. Feel free to talk about anything. I'm listening for words and pronunciation rather than the content of the discussion. Me too, Anna said, hesitantly raising her hand just enough to be noticed. Can you whistle? And can you do the loud one? Alex asked. Yes, I can do the regular one. Sorry, Alex, Susan interrupted. Why don't you ask the question and let her answer and then switch so there's a pause in between? Oh, good point, Alex said, acknowledging the suggestion. Go ahead, sweetheart. Yes, but it's been a while, Anna replied slowly. I have never tried the loud one. So, yes, the regular one. Brian can do that loud one. Wait until you hear it sometime. Would you want to learn that? Anna shrugged. Words, please, Susan reminded her. I don't know, Anna said. Can you roll your tongue? You don't know that from... Anna gasped as she turned to her boyfriend and playfully tapped his leg. Alex! Alex laughed and looked at Susan, who was smiling while pretending to focus on her notepad. Touché, Susan replied with raised eyebrows. Alex wondered if there was more to Susan's words than friendship. Courtney can definitely roll her tongue, Susan commented, making Alex's eyes widen. That confirmed it. Yes, I can do that, Alex said in a joking tone. No, I cannot, Anna replied dramatically. I have never been able to do that, and I am the shame of all Mexicans because I cannot roll my R's either. Looks like only one of us can speak fluent and perfect Spanish then, huh? Alex joked. Bite your tongue, my love, Anna shot back. It's amazing what one can do to fake it to make it. My Spanish is fine, thank you. She paused. Wait. Alex laughed when he realized that she didn't know something about him. He hadn't been sure if she could speak Spanish either. You speak Spanish? Anna asked, surprised. Yes, my love, Alex replied. Now we can share in 2 languages. I'm looking forward to it. Maybe I'll stick with English for now, Susan said, shaking her head. Clearly it's her main language and a little easier for her. Anna rolled her eyes. Can you snap? Alex asked. Susan burst out laughing when they both answered, Yep, and did it instinctively. Can you do a water droplet sound? Anna asked, correcting herself slowly. Droplet, she repeated. Good, Anna. Susan praised her for fixing her mistake. I suppose, but I haven't done it in a while, Alex answered. Not when I'm being watched, Anna replied with a smile. Now I am self-conscious. She smacked her head lightly and lowered it in embarrassment. Like now. That was brave to try, Alex said, reaching over to rub her back. I'll say, Susan agreed. 1-syllable words work best. Keep going. I'm not really listening, but what I am hearing is amusing. Am I bad? Anna asked anxiously. No, oh gosh, no, Anna, Susan reassured her, putting down her notebook to take her hands. No, I'm just trying to act like I haven't enjoyed listening to both of you talk. I've probably said too much already. The whole team is really interested in how you two came together and how well you have blended so far. Even those who are happily married feel a little envy. Susan said, I didn't mean to make it seem like your talk was funny. To be honest, you are ahead of some patients I've worked with. Your effort to speak and share your goals has been impressive, and I truly admire that. Goal words? Alex asked. Would you like to share them? Susan said as she turned the notebook to show Anna. I said them this morning before we went to sleep, Anna replied, clearing her throat to express herself better. You said many words, Alex observed. Can you share, please? Anna turned to the page with her goal words. Beneath the list, there were notes and dates in Susan's handwriting. Oh, yes. She did, actually. I was surprised, but I guess that I didn't say them when I first saw him, Anna added. I know, I felt bad, but I was in shock. No, I mean, right, Alex stammered. It seemed like Susan and Alex were both being careful with their words. He hadn't realized how challenging it would be to say things without upsetting Anna. She had her voice but struggled with her speech. But you did say Alex twice when you first saw me, and you thanked me a lot, Alex reminded her, nudging her gently. He chuckled when he heard Susan giggle as Anna's face turned red. And the I love you right before we fell asleep was great. But hey, it says here in the notebook that the perfect sounds were made yesterday. What happened? I might have encouraged her to start speaking, and since she was in a really tough mood, she ended up saying much more than she planned. She was already upset about the missing notepads on the table. Why were you upset? Alex asked. Bad dream, Anna said. Tired of waiting to see you. I missed you so much and it was hard not knowing. Learning to talk again is so difficult. Anna pouted sadly at Alex. I understand, sweetheart, Alex said as he put his arm around her. Come here. I'm really sorry that you are having such a hard time. I promise it upset me too, but I promise we won't be apart like that again. Ever. We'll see, Susan said, turning to grab a box of tissues. This is why I keep tissues around. She wiped her eyes and chuckled. Silly feelings. Anyway, she said, waving a tissue. Carry on. Can you do a cartwheel? Alex asked. Yep, Anna replied. Nah, I'm good, Alex said with a smile. There's no reason for me to do that. What is it that you've never done but also don't want to? Anna, Susan warned, which made Anna roll her eyes. It's don't want to, she corrected. Nice one, Alex said, putting his finger to his chin. Well, there are many things I've never done, but I can't say I wouldn't want to try them someday. There are a lot of things I find unappealing and would rather not talk about because, well, they just are. For example, I don't want to swim deep in the ocean or go to space. Anna listened, nodded, and then shrugged. Good, because I don't want that for you either. I also don't want to learn how to make and eat those fancy meals. No desire. Alex noticed Anna was starting to feel tired of talking. He admired her determination, though he wasn't surprised, especially since she was discussing food. I want to make meals that people will enjoy and want to have seconds of. She took a deep breath and let it out slowly. I think you're done for now, Anna, Susan said as she reached across the table to take her hands again. You did really well, much better than I thought you could. But it's no surprise. Your motivation is right here. Susan stood up, handed the notebook to Alex, and nodded towards the door. Now take a break, rest your voice, drink some warm water, and spend some time with Alex. We're done for today. I've made notes for Alex to use if he wants to help you. You've had a lot of therapy in just 1 week, and it shows. I'll see you later. As they made their way back to the room, Alex held her close and kissed the top of her head. Do you want a short nap? Anna shook her head. Just a little rest, then? Anna nodded. One more question, Alex continued. Do you mind if I take a short nap? I haven't slept much. Anna nodded again and let him guide her into the room. He fell asleep almost as soon as his head touched the pillow. Alex woke up when the doctors and nurses came in with some forms that needed to be signed. He excused himself to use the bathroom while they spoke with Anna. He had been looking forward to this day since she was rescued. Their time apart was needed, but it had been hard. He missed not being able to sleep next to her. He never expected things to be this good. All right, Anna, Dr. Salas said as she handed Anna the forms that had just been signed. You're free to go. Just give your voice a rest, but keep using it, Dr. Mitchell added, which made everyone in the room exchange awkward looks. Well, you know what I mean. If you have any questions, contact Susan or me. We'll be happy to help. I think you're doing really well, so keep it up. We'll see you soon. I'll set up a check-in with Mr. McLean later. For now, go home. It's been too long. Anna nodded and then looked at Alex. She had her coat on, her belongings in a bag on her shoulder, and her hand out to Alex, ready to head home. Alex laughed, put on his coat, and took her hand. I guess the lady is ready to go, Alex said to the others in the room as they said their goodbyes. Thank you all for everything you've done for her. It means a lot to me. Everyone nodded or placed their hands over their hearts. We'll see you again, right? They all nodded and waved as Anna let him out. Do we need to get anything to eat? Anna asked, looking up at Alex. She thought they might want to rest at home for a day. No, sweetie, Alex replied, giving her a gentle kiss on the forehead. We'll unpack and then sit down for a chat. Does that sound good? Can I? Anna started, leaning her head against his arm. Can I use the notepad? I was going to suggest it, my dear, he said as he kissed her hand. They walked down the sidewalk for a few blocks and then entered his building. Mr. McLean, Miss Anna, Fred greeted them warmly. Welcome home, sir, miss, he said, motioning for them to head to the elevators. Thanks, Fred, Alex replied as Anna waved at him shyly. Once inside the apartment, Anna gasped and covered her mouth. Tears filled her eyes, and she leaned against Alex. Oh, sweetheart, Alex comforted her, holding her close. I should have thought it might be tough. How can I help you feel better? Anna shook her head, holding on to him tightly. I'm so sorry, she cried softly. I didn't expect to react like this. No, it's okay. Let's take off our coats and put our things away, all right? Anna nodded, letting Alex help her out of her coat. They hung them up together. Anna moved close to Alex, feeling his comforting presence. Once they were in their room, Alex loosened his hold on her. Anna set her bag of clothes next to her dresser and took her personal items to the bathroom to put them away. Babe, how about we do a quick walkthrough of the place? Alex suggested, turning to see if she was okay with it. She tilted her head, asking for more clarity. Let's check every part of this place to see if there's anything bothering you. Come on. They entered the living room and stood quietly, taking it all in. Babe, let's take a moment. Think about the good times we shared instead of what just happened to you. Can you do that? Anna nodded and looked at the fireplace. She smiled and pointed at it, then at his chest. Alex smiled back and kissed her hand, which he was still holding. She turned her gaze to the couch, and Alex could see she was recalling their talks, naps, movie nights, and the cookies he made for his birthday. When she looked at the TV, she giggled. "Big bag," she said, pointing at the screen. "Lots of that stuff." Then she reached out to invite him to dance with her. Excited, Alex quickly turned on the music and wrapped his arms around her. "I think we spent so much time dancing in the first 24 hours after we met. That first day was about celebrating you, remember?" Anna nodded against his chest. "The next day, while the soup cooked, a song ended just as the timer went off, and I spun you around. I couldn't have planned it better." "You are perfect, Alex," Anna said, looking up at him. He smiled down, leaning in for a kiss. Their gentle kiss turned deeper as Alex held her close. "I've missed you, sweet girl," Alex said breathlessly. "Are you okay? Is this all right? I want you to feel safe, sweetheart." Anna motioned for him to let her down. Once he did, she nodded. "I will be fine. We have too many good memories here. It just surprised me." "All right, babe," Alex agreed, guiding her to the couch. "I want to talk about something." Anna watched as he sat down and pulled her onto his lap. "I made some plans for this evening. Well, for the weekend. How about we go away? Tonight we can dress up like we were going to at the convention. It will be much more fun. I'll wear my suit, and you can wear one of your pretty dresses. In fact, you can wear 3 of them this weekend. You know all the outfits and accessories, so you can pack them up, and we'll send them to where we're staying. How does that sound?" Anna nodded and snuggled into him. "Before we leave, we'll get ready in the first outfit. My suit will match the color of your dress each day, so you'll need to decide which ones to pick. Want to choose them together?" Anna nodded, her smile brightening. "Yeah? Oh, I'm excited. I've been looking forward to seeing that beautiful smile." When Alex stood up with her still in his arms, Anna laughed happily. Alex smiled, feeling content. "I've been waiting my whole life to hear that laugh, too." Anna walked over to the closet and took out the green dress. "Tonight?" Alex asked. Anna nodded. "Good. I was hoping so. What about tomorrow?" She looked at the other dresses and picked a royal blue one, which was perfect for his plans. "All right. What about the third one?" Anna was deciding between 2 options. Alex hoped she would choose the right one, but was ready to help if needed. Luckily, she picked well. "Okay, kid," Alex joked. "Go grab all the accessories for each dress. Since this isn't something you do often, maybe start with the green dress and then keep going with the others. Don't forget regular clothes, socks, and shoes, but you won't need pajamas." Anna looked up in surprise and then smiled more than Alex expected. She seemed amused by his suggestion and got to work. Soon, Alex's bed was covered with her clothes. He added matching ties and pocket squares and neatly packed his suits. By the time he finished, Anna had organized everything into neat piles on the bed. Then, Alex brought out a bag and laid it gently on the bed. "I got you these while you were trying on clothes last Friday night," he said. He opened the boxes to reveal 7 necklaces, 4 bracelets, 10 pairs of earrings, and a lovely hairpiece. Anna's eyes widened with excitement as he opened each box. "Let's pack these up so they're ready, okay?" Anna nodded slowly, captivated by the jewelry. "They're all yours," Alex told her. "You choose what you want to wear. Let's start with the green dress." They worked together, and soon Anna had set aside a necklace, earrings, and a bracelet that she wanted for that evening. The rest was packed in a suitcase and placed in the living room next to another suitcase with their suits and dresses carefully hung inside. Alex set his alarm for 5 p.m. to ensure they wouldn't be late. He knew Fred would bring the person picking up their suitcases and the stylist to assist Anna in getting ready. He also thought he might take a quick nap before it was time to leave. Until then, he just wanted to sit with Anna on the couch and talk about some questions they hadn't covered in therapy. He needed answers for some future plans. "Tired?" Alex asked. Anna nodded. "Do you have your notepad?" Anna reached for it on the coffee table and held it up. "First question," Alex started, but then yawned. "Oh, I wonder how many we'll get through. Okay, what's your favorite flower?" Anna wrote her answer and showed it to Alex. He read it and smiled. "Honestly, I love pretty pink roses with baby's breath." "Beautiful," he replied. "Come here," he said, closing his eyes and leaning back on the couch. That was the last thing he remembered. The doorbell suddenly woke Alex. He jumped a little, but when he realized he was holding a pillow, he opened his eyes wide and sat up. Anna? Right here, Anna answered, sitting in front of his legs. Should I get it? Yeah, it's Fred with Henri, the hotel concierge, and Mandy. Alex watched Anna go to the door and smiled when he saw her cover her mouth in surprise and then hug Mandy. Mandy had been the sales lady from the dress department where Alex had treated Anna to a shopping spree. She would know how to style Anna for this event, and Alex thought Anna would be okay with the light makeup Mandy had mentioned. He knew Mandy could convince her and create a natural look since Anna was already beautiful. Alex stood up, stretched, and walked over to give Henry a folded $100 bill for helping make his plans work on short notice and for taking care of everything so well. Thank you, sir, Henri said as he put the money away. We will see you soon, yes? Alex nodded and turned to Anna and Mandy, who were waiting for his attention. It's nice to see you again, Mandy, Alex said as he shook her hand. Anna has a little room next to our main room. I'll take my things to the living room to get dressed, so you two can use the bathroom without interruptions. We'll see you out there. Mandy took Anna's elbow to guide her. Let's get to work. At 4:57 p.m., Alex watched as Anna walked into the living room with Mandy following behind her. He was ready for her to look lovely and a bit different. But what entered the room took his breath away. She looked amazing. The green dress fit her perfectly. She had makeup on, but it was done so naturally that it just highlighted her beauty. Mandy had clearly been the right choice for this. Anna's smile lit up the room. It was the perfect touch he hadn't expected. Anna, Alex whispered, standing up from the couch to walk toward her. He gently touched her face and then turned to Mandy. Your work is amazing, Mandy. Thank you for this. I know the canvas I gave you was beautiful, but you made it even better. I appreciate it. Mandy nodded and then headed to the kitchen where Alex thought she'd left her coat. She could find her way out on her own. Alex had someone special to enjoy. How do you feel? Pretty, Anna said, pointing to her shoes. I love these. They are so comfortable, she said carefully. Alex chuckled. Good. Comfort is important. Are you ready? Oh, he said as his alarm went off. Time to go. We have a limo waiting. Anna's eyes got wide. What? You thought we'd take a taxi for this? This weekend is going to be amazing. Get ready. I'm going to surprise you. How is that different from normal? Anna asked, smiling since his hand was still on her face. Alex sighed as she gently tugged his arm to lean down. Kiss me, please, she asked, taking a deep breath as his lips touched hers. They shared a sweet, quick kiss before Anna stepped back. Alex, you look great, she told him as she stepped back again to admire his suit. Lucky girl, she said slowly and playfully, fanning herself. Alex shook his head, which made Anna laugh. Let's go, Alex said as he went to the closet to get their coats. Do you have your purse? Anna nodded and held it up after Alex helped her into her coat. All right then, let's head out. The limo arrived just as they stepped out of the elevator. Alex didn't like blocking the street in front of his building, so he had asked the driver to come right at 5:05 p.m. Alex nodded at Fred as he opened the door for them. There were no words exchanged since the driver knew their destination. Anna sat in the back and looked around in amazement. One day we'll take a longer trip in a car like this, Alex said. And it'll be somewhere special, far away, so we can enjoy all this space. With the tinted windows, we can relax and have fun without anyone knowing. By the time he finished, Anna was blushing. Just wait and see, he teased. Anna shook her head, but he thought she was just as excited as he was. When they arrived at the hotel, Alex took Anna's hand and led her inside. If there were people in the lobby she might have known, she didn't seem to notice. She was busy looking around in awe, holding onto Alex's arm. He guided her straight to the elevators. Alex pressed the button for the 15th floor and stood back in case anyone else wanted to join before the doors closed. We're just dropping off our coats and then we'll come right back down. How are you feeling? Magical, Anna said softly. Her eyes brightened as she turned to look at Alex. Ooh, that was a great 3-part word. I nailed it. Very nice, Alex said with a smile as he looked at her. You're getting better every day. You don't have to impress me, though. I'm already amazed by how beautiful you are and how happy you make me. I'm so in love with you. I love you too, Anna replied with care. Alex felt she always put her heart into those words. He knew he was truly lucky. Anna was mesmerized by the large suite they stood in. She walked into the bedroom and nodded. The bathroom next door was even bigger than theirs, and Alex's was nice as well. It had a big hot tub and a shower with a bench. "Come here, my girl," Alex said, pulling her over to the big window. "This will be our view for the next 3 nights. What do you think?" Anna looked up at him and smiled. She turned to face him, placing her hands on his coat. Alex bent down, wrapped his arms around her, and kissed her. "Do we have to go down now, or can we dance?" Anna asked. Alex smiled and took his phone out, starting a playlist before placing it on the ledge. "Well, we are dressed for it," Alex joked, drawing her close for a dance. "We have all the time in the world, but let's just enjoy this moment. Can I ask you something?" As he swayed with her, Anna nodded. "Will you be my dance partner forever?" Anna looked into his eyes with a smile and nodded. "For the rest of my life," she promised, saying it slowly. She welcomed his kiss once more. Just after 6 p.m., a few minutes later than planned, they got a bit caught up in kissing and checking their appearance. Alex led Anna out of the room and to the elevators. She walked with him, even though she wasn't sure where they were going. Alex cherished the trust she had in him from the start. He intended to make her feel safe, so she would always have faith in him whenever they were together. I really love their connection. Writing Anna's new speech has been a wonderful journey. I can't imagine having to learn to talk again, but her support is incredible. Having Alex greet her in the mornings and share their first real conversation was so special. I hope you enjoyed their reunion and are excited to see what Alex is planning next. Alex guided her to a small ballroom with closed doors. "I think we're right in here, Miss Lopez," he said as he stopped to open the door for her. Anna gasped when she entered the room. It was filled with colorful helium balloons in green, black, silver, and white. They decorated the walls and floated over the tables. 6 round tables were set up with plenty of space between them, and people were already seated, chatting happily. "Surprise!" everyone shouted when Alex brought Anna into the room. Anna was startled at first, but then recognized many of the familiar faces around her. Everyone was dressed nicely for the occasion. "Okay, everyone, settle down," Alex said loudly to quiet the cheers and applause. "Thank you all for joining us for this special weekend." Anna has no idea what is happening, so let her take a moment to adjust. I want us to go to each table and say hello to everyone. At the first table, Anna found her friends Savannah, Sarah, and Sam, along with Dan, Brian, and Caroline. They had been deep in conversation until Alex and Anna walked in. "Hey!" Savannah exclaimed, getting up to give her friend a hug. The girls all embraced Anna excitedly. Caroline's warm welcome made Alex smile, knowing they would get along well. Brian high-fived Anna, and Alex tilted his head in surprise at the friendly gesture. Then Dan stood up and hugged Anna gently like a caring parent. "Go say hi to the other tables," Savannah urged. "We will catch up later." At the next table, Anna saw Eric, Paulie, and Mr. and Mrs. Cardinale, as well as Mr. and Mrs. Edgemeyer, her college counselor, and her husband. They were chatting politely when Anna approached. "Mrs. Edgemeyer?" Anna said, surprised as the older woman stood to greet her. Mrs. Edgemeyer smiled, taking Anna's hand and stepping back to admire her dress. "Anna, you look amazing. It's wonderful to see you. I heard you had a tough time at work due to illness, and I worried about you. When Alex reached out, my husband and I knew we had to be here. I am so happy for you." "Thank you," Anna said, hugging her. After Mrs. Edgemeyer sat down, Alex introduced Anna to his friends Eric and Paulie. They shook her hand and expressed how glad they were to meet the girl who made Alex so happy. "Lopez, it's great to see you again, and I must say your jewelry looks even more beautiful on you than when Alex gave it to you," Mr. Cardinale said with a smile as she hugged him. "Let me introduce you to my wife and best friend of 37 years, Lucia." "Oh, just call me Lucy," she replied warmly, pulling Anna into a gentle hug. "Dom has told me so much about you. When Alex organized this event, we definitely wanted to be here." "Nice to meet you," Anna said kindly, placing her hand on her heart and nodding. "All right, let's keep things moving," Alex suggested as Anna looked around at the tables. "People will start to get impatient if we don't finish up and let the food start being served." "Let them eat," Anna replied, smiling. "We can chat while they begin serving," she added softly before they reached the next table. "Are you sure?" Alex questioned. Anna nodded. so Alex called over the nearest server. Please start at table 1 with the salads and soups. As we move, go ahead and serve them. We don't want anyone waiting, he instructed. Anna looked up at Alex with affection. When he turned to her, he tilted his head and asked, What? Just doing that makes you happy? You're going to have a great life, my girl. I want to make you happy, but you make it easy. At the third table, Savannah's parents, Sarah and Sam, were chatting together like old friends. Because they were old friends. Hello! Marianne, Sarah's mother, called out as they approached the table. I must say, Christy, you look lovely. It's Anna, Mary, Sam's mother, gently corrected her friend. She's right, you look amazing. It's so nice to see you again, and we're happy to celebrate with you. Is it okay if we still sometimes call you Christy? Angela, Savannah's mother, asked while waving off her husband, who tried to stop her. Oh no, Anna replied, glancing around the table and nodding at each couple. She noticed they'd known her by that name since middle school. It's fine. I prefer Anna, but I will always respond to both, she said lightly. Especially for you wonderful folks, Alex added, sensing that was what Anna would say. Anna squeezed his hand in agreement. Thank you for coming, and I hope you enjoy the meal, Alex said warmly. Thank you, Anna replied softly, giving his hand a gentle squeeze. I'm here for you, Alex assured her, giving her a playful wink when she glanced up at him. At the next table, Maggie, Alex's assistant who had been with him since he started his business, sat with her husband, Rich. Nearby were Stephen, Anna's nurse, and his boyfriend, Kyle, along with Susan, Anna's therapist, and her friend, Courtney. They were all engaged in easy conversation, sounding like good friends, even if they had only recently met. Well, look who it is, Maggie called out to Alex, her hand resting affectionately on Rich's chest. Don't you look sharp? Maggie, Alex replied, sharing a light-hearted exchange. Though they had a playful friendship, he never saw her as more than a sister figure, always protective of him in both work and life. Maggie had met Rich not long after joining the team, and they seemed inseparable since then. It's nice to see you all, Anna said, making a point to look at Susan. Thank you for coming, she added earnestly. Great job, Susan whispered to Anna, giving her a quick hug. Enjoy the meal, everyone, and thank you for being here, Alex said with a smile. As he moved to the last table, Alex spotted a small table with 2 chairs that allowed the occupants to see everyone in the room. It was just right. Behind it, the dance floor was ready, and soon a DJ would arrive for a brief dance party. The cake was prepared in the kitchen, so everything was on track. I was just telling Georgie that, Mike, Dr. Salas's husband, said as he chatted with Dr. Mitchell about their topic. Well, look who finally decided to join us, Dr. Salas teased Alex. Anna, you look amazing tonight, she said warmly while playfully bumping Alex's fist. Absolutely, Tony agreed, standing up to give Anna a hug. You both look wonderful. It's going to be a great evening. We'll have a chance to catch up, Alex said to them. Please enjoy the food, and thank you for adjusting your schedules to be here this weekend. Wouldn't miss it for the world, Sonia added with a nod before turning back to Mike. I believe we have the best seats reserved right here, my dear, Alex said to Anna, lifting her hand to kiss it gently. As they settled into their seats, he looked at her and asked, So, how did I do? What? Anna gasped, placing her hand on her chest. Is this really everyone you wanted here? Look at this, Alex said, pointing to the elegant card on the table. Look at this. Celebrating Alex and Anna dinner, February 5th, 2021. Table 1 Brian Urbana, Alex's best friend, and his girlfriend Caroline Demeter Savannah Martin, Sarah Sullivan, Sam Doherty, Anna's best friends Dan Folgerty, Alex's godfather. Table 2, Eric Thompson, Paulie Sutherland, Alex's friends Mr. Dom Cardinal and his wife Lucia, Bella Lucia. Jewelry Mrs. Regina Edgemeyer and her husband Bill, Anna's college counselor. Table 3, Mary and Dale Doherty, Sam's parents Angela and David Martin, Savannah's parents Marianne and Fred Sullivan, Sarah's parents. Table 4, Maggie Jones and her husband Rich, Alex's longtime secretary and security assistant Stephen Anderson and his boyfriend Kyle McDowell, XM's longtime nursing staff Susan Mays and her friend Courtney Pendisk, Anna's speech therapist. Table 5, Dr. Gio Mitchell and his wife Claire, ENT specialist taking care of Anna's throat issue, Dr. Georgie Salas and her husband Mike, XM's longtime doctor. Sonia Marjoram, XM's longtime nursing staff. Tony Zales and her husband Donald, XM's longtime nursing staff. Every person I called either had no plans, changed their plans, or canceled them just to be here with us this weekend. Everyone except the Cardinales and the Edgemeyers is staying in the hotel for 3 nights. The girls said they would miss school on Monday, but they couldn't think of a better reason to do so. Most of them said they would just take off work on Monday. Alex leaned in and whispered, "Some of them have become millionaires, so they can take the day off without worry." "That's right," Anna whispered back, shaking her head in surprise. "Wow," she said softly, and thanked the server as he brought her a diet soda. She lifted her glass to Alex, who raised his regular soda to gently clink against hers. "No beer?" Anna asked after they took a drink. Alex shook his head and explained that he wanted to stay clear-headed for the evening because he knew they had a lot planned ahead and wanted to remember every moment. Anna smiled shyly and looked down at her plate. Before they could start eating, Dan stood up. "Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to propose a toast to Alex and Anna. Alex is my godson, and I am so proud of the man he has become. I know your parents would be thrilled that you found your partner in Anna. They always wanted you to have the joy they experienced together. We are all grateful to be part of this wonderful weekend. It is an honor to be here, and a pleasure to see you both so happy together." "Cheers! Cheers!" everyone said as they raised their glasses, clicked them together, and took a sip of their drinks. Anna looked at her boyfriend with warmth in her eyes. As she took a bite of her salad, Alex thought about how much had changed in their lives in just 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks ago that he had met this amazing woman at the bar. She had brought so much joy into his life. He hoped she felt the same way and that he was helping make her life better after some tough times. "Are you okay?" Anna asked with a tilted head, her smile bright. Alex nodded and smiled back. Yes, he felt great. Dinner was served in a style that let everyone choose from 3 different dishes. Guests chatted happily about how delicious everything was. More drinks were poured and music started playing in the background. Anna turned to look at the DJ and then quickly back at Alex. Alex just laughed. "DJ?" "Sure," Alex said, taking another bite from his plate. They had special plates with a sample of everything. "How else will we enjoy the last 2 hours of the evening?" "Alex," Anna said, "are you ever going to stop surprising me?" "I hope not," Alex replied, leaning in to kiss her. Their friends cheered and hollered from the nearby table. "Go for it, Alex!" Brian yelled. "Woohoo!" Sam shouted, raising her glass in celebration. Alex smiled at Anna and whispered, "Busted," before standing up and gently pulling her along with him. "Ladies and gentlemen," Alex announced. The DJ turned down the music so everyone could hear. "Thank you all for being here today. We have an exciting weekend ahead, starting with this dinner dance. Before we get to the fun part, there's something important I want to do, and I hope you'll all witness it." Alex motioned for Anna to join him on the dance floor so everyone could see them. He turned to face her, and it became so quiet that you could hear a pin drop. Even the DJ paused the music. "Anna, these people are the most important people in our lives right now. I want them to be here tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday, because when you find someone who changes you for the better and fills the empty space in your heart, you want to share that special person with your loved ones. I know it's surprising. I know it feels quick, and some may think it's foolish, but Anna, it feels right. I just know it. I believe everyone in this room feels the same way. With you, my life makes sense. We fit together," Alex said as he put his hand in his pocket. "So, Cristiana Maria Lopez, my lovely girl," Alex continued, kneeling down, "will you make me the happiest man and say you'll marry me?" He opened a ring box he had in his hand, holding onto her hand at the same time. Alex had chosen a ring he hoped she would like. He knew she would want something she could wear every day, especially since she would be working with food a lot. He showed her the ring and set the box on the floor. As he looked up, he noticed her gaze was not on the ring, but on him. His smile made her smile back warmly. "Yes, Alex," she replied clearly. "A million times, yes," she exclaimed even louder, almost leaping into his arms. Alex stood quickly and caught her. It was a bit tricky with their formal clothes, but they managed. Cheers erupted as everyone celebrated with loud cheers, clapping, and drumming on the tables. Waiters brought out trays filled with champagne glasses, and everyone began to toast to the happy couple. Alex gently held Anna's face and leaned in when one of their friends called out. "Show us what you've got!" Paulie shouted from his table. Alex smiled at Anna and softly asked her if she was ready for their first public display of affection. They both thought it was a bit unfair that someone had caught them kissing while ice skating, especially since it made local news before most people in the room knew they were together. Anna nodded and unexpectedly wrapped her arms around his neck, pulling him closer. They shared a sweet kiss, and while she held onto him, Alex's hands roamed her back. They both smiled at each other, feeling the warmth of the moment, and thought it might be nice to escape the party and find a quieter place together. When they pulled away from each other, the crowd erupted in applause and cheers. "Congratulations, Alex and Anna," the DJ announced into the microphone as the song Celebration started playing. Several couples eagerly made their way to the dance floor after Alex waved them over. He guided Anna back to their table and pointed to the ring on her finger. They sat down to chat briefly before the guests asked for their attention. "I know you might have expected something bigger," Alex said, "but I thought a smaller ring would be more practical for everyday wear. I want you to feel happy wearing what I give you, especially for this special moment. Once you start culinary school, you'll be cooking a lot and you wouldn't want your ring to get dirty all the time." Anna took Alex's hands and gazed into his eyes. "I was hoping you would think about that," she said. "I think this is the perfect ring. It's my engagement ring from you. It truly is perfect," she added. Alex pulled her into a warm hug and kissed her forehead. "I love you, my dear," Alex whispered softly. "And if you ever want a different ring, I will get it for you. But this is something I've thought about since we first got to know each other. I learned so much more about you than what you wrote down. Now, can you do me a favor?" "What is it?" "Let's slow down on the talking," Alex requested gently. "I love hearing you speak, but we should enjoy ourselves more right now. Let's stick together so I can help answer any questions they might have. I'm here for you, always." Anna nodded and leaned in for one more kiss, which he gladly gave. "Save some for later, buddy," Dr. Mitchell said as he approached their table, still holding a bottle of beer. "Let's dance," he exclaimed. Anna let Alex help her up from her chair, and soon they were dancing, laughing, and celebrating with their friends. Most guests joined the dance floor during the first 5 songs. The cake Alex had ordered appeared, decorated with flowers and writing that matched the balloons. "You're a wonderful reason to celebrate, Alex and Anna." The words were beautifully written, and a picture of the two of them was in the lower corner. "Cut it together!" Sonia shouted as Alex and Anna stood in front of the cake, excited to see it. Alex nodded at Dan, showing his approval, and Dan bowed in response. A large knife was brought out for the cake. "Alex and Anna Feb 57, 2021. It was perfect. "Fancy," Anna whispered into Alex's ear as they leaned in together to pose for the many cameras aimed at them. They smiled at each other and leaned in to share a kiss. After glancing at the cake, they made a couple of cuts before using the serving tool they had been given. A paper plate was handed to Anna to catch the slice Alex had cut. "Now feed each other," Mrs. Edgemeyer said, which made everyone giggle. "Isn't that for the real wedding?" Alex asked, though he thought only Anna would hear him. She shrugged but cheerfully took a piece of cake to offer him. Alex did the same in return, then set the plate on a nearby table. They leaned in to feed each other and shared a sweet, slightly messy kiss afterwards, which brought loud applause. A lively song started playing, and many people headed back to the dance floor. Alex and Anna found a table and joined some friends to chat for a while. Throughout the night, they visited several tables, and cake was served to everyone on small plates. During the slow songs, Alex and Anna found themselves dancing closely, enjoying the company around them. As the night went on, many older couples said their goodbyes, promising to meet for brunch the next morning. A few wished Anna and Alex a wonderful night, which made Anna blush. One gentleman even shared a memory from his engagement and playfully suggested the couple enjoy their hotel room upstairs. Anna smiled graciously, but Alex found it a bit awkward to hear such comments from people with more experience. When the room had only Dan, a few friends of Alex's, and Caroline left, the servers began cleaning up around them. Anna didn't know that Alex had reserved the banquet room for the whole weekend, so he wasn't in a rush to leave. The staff appreciated his kindness and worked around them to clean up and prepare for brunch the next day, all without Anna noticing. "Anna!" Sarah shouted. "You're engaged!" Anna smiled and looked at Alex, who had his arm around her shoulder. Brian sat next to Caroline in a similar way. The girls were busy talking excitedly about how wonderful the evening had been, how cute Anna and Alex looked together, and how nice the whole event was. "Yeah, I'd be surprised too if I hadn't seen you ask her myself," Eric mentioned to Alex. "In just 2 weeks, you're as deeply in love as our friend Brian over here." "When you know," Brian and Alex both said at the same time. Caroline and Anna leaned forward to give each other a high five, which made everyone in the group laugh. "So, when's the big day?" Dan asked. Alex had been the one to plan this, and Dan slipped it into the conversation just like Alex thought he would. "Oh, wow," Sam exclaimed. "What about a summer wedding? Will we all wear strapless dresses?" "Wow, summer," Paulie said. "Isn't that a bit soon?" At that moment, Alex caught Dan's eye, and if Dan had been drinking his beer, he might have laughed it out. "I don't know," Savannah said carefully. "Who says there's a certain time for getting engaged?" "Planning!" Brian, Caroline, Sam, and Sarah all shouted together. "What's there to plan, guys?" Alex asked casually. "You need a place, a person to lead the ceremony, food, pictures, rings, and guests. What else is there?" "Well, what do you expect, typical guy?" Sam replied, still playfully. "How about Sunday?" Alex suggested, laughing when Anna quickly turned to look at him. "What? We have the place. We have food. We have all the guests. A cake might already be ordered. The photographer is ready, just like she was for tonight, even if you didn't know it. Father B is ready to help us celebrate. What else? Oh, rings. I might already have chosen them, but Mr. Cardinale will let us get them tomorrow if you want a different choice." "Alex, are you serious, man?" Brian asked his best friend. "Oh, wow, Anna," Sarah said. "Say yes. What are you waiting for?" "Right," Caroline chimed in. "You, my friend, found your perfect match and he planned this whole weekend. All you have to do is be there. Just say yes and celebrate like you've received the best gift ever." "Wait," Dan said excitedly. "What about all the colors and the people in the wedding? What about outfits and flowers?" "Oh, that's what tomorrow is for," Alex replied casually. "You don't think I haven't thought this through, do you? Our guests, those who are already up in their rooms or at home, know they need to wear nice clothes for tonight, tomorrow, and for Sunday. So, bride," Alex said to Anna, "will Sunday work?" Anna nodded and leaned in close to him, making the group cheer and gasp softly. "Well now," Alex continued, "tomorrow has several choices to make." He paused for a moment, then shook his head. "Wait, let's finish talking about the wedding first. Eric and Paulie, I hope you'll be my groomsmen. Brian, best man, of course." "Can't imagine it any other way," Brian replied. Eric and Paulie nodded. "You three will come with me to the store to pick up ties, vests, and pocket squares for your tuxes." Alex knew they all had their tuxes, as they had worn them not too long ago, and knew they still fit well. "Girls, do I have to choose just one?" Anna asked carefully. "Can I have all three?" She held up 3 fingers. "No rule saying otherwise," Brian replied. "I'm a lawyer," he added quickly, "so I would know." He winked at Anna, who shook her head against Alex's arm. "Yes!" All 3 girls cheered. "Care?" Anna called to Caroline, who turned to listen. "Will you help me get ready, like with my hair and makeup? Everyone else will be busy, and I want you to be part of it too." "Really?" Caroline asked. "Anna, you don't have to do that. I know we just met." Anna shook her head firmly when Caroline questioned her. "No, I want you to be here," Anna said with some effort. Alex reached for her hand and squeezed it gently to remind her to stop talking. He worried that she might become overwhelmed. "Well, I mean, it would be my honor," Caroline assured her, then turned to look at Brian. He smiled and kissed her forehead as they shared a side hug. "Now I can share the rest of the plans for tomorrow," Alex said with a laugh, watching as the girls leaned forward in their seats. "Ladies, you 5 will join us boys at the store at 9 a.m. where they'll be ready to help us. Men, we'll be in our section while the girls explore dresses and other items they need to get ready. By 11 a.m. we'll all be back here for brunch together. After that, you'll have 3 activities to choose from. The first option is a winter outing with sledding, ice skating, and snowmobiling in honor of Anna's and my first date, Alex announced, and the girls responded with excited awes. The second option is cooking and baking classes at the culinary school. Anna jumped up, looking excited. Alex smiled as he explained further. This honors Anna's passion for food and her future plans. The third choice is a visit to the art museum, including special exhibits. I enjoy visiting the museum when I need some quiet time. The options for the afternoon were already shared via email. Food and souvenirs will be available at all activities. For the evening, we'll have dinner here again, then set up a screen to watch a movie with popcorn, drinks, and other treats. Everyone can choose to stay or return to their rooms. Breakfast will be served at 9 a.m. on Sunday, followed by the rehearsal. Lunch is at 1 p.m. and preparations for the ceremony will start at 2 p.m. in both the girls' suite and their room. The wedding will happen at 5 p.m., followed by dinner at 6 p.m. After that, there will be cake, the first dance, the tossing of the garter and bouquet, and lots of pictures. Around 9 p.m., the new Mrs. McLean and I will say goodbye to our guests and then retreat for our first night as a married couple. As they walked back to their room, Alex looked at his future wife with admiration. Everything had gone well, even better than he expected. But he worried if he had taken away some of the fun moments she might have wanted in planning the wedding. When they entered the room, Alex suggested they change out of their clothes. He asked, "Would you like to communicate in writing before bed? It might give your voice a rest." Anna thought for a moment and then nodded. "I know you want to talk, but you've had a long day. I just want you to be okay," she replied. Anna smiled, gave him a gentle kiss, and leaned her cheek against his shirt. After a minute, Alex unbuttoned his shirt and loosened his belt. Anna turned to show him the buttons on the back of her dress that she needed help with. Once he unfastened them, he held her arms gently so she wouldn't move away and placed a soft kiss on her neck. Anna smiled and leaned back against him, feeling comfortable. "I probably should have realized I'd want to pull you close once we got in here, especially seeing you in that dress. You look beautiful. But let's sit down and talk. There's a lot to go over and I want us to be on the same page," he said. Keeping it simple, Alex handed Anna a robe to wear and put on his own to keep things calm. He led her to the couch where the laptop was already set up on the coffee table. They sat together in the dim living room, with a view of the city lights glimmering all around. "First," Alex started, watching as Anna turned on the laptop to write down her thoughts. "I know I threw a lot at you, but I wanted it to be a surprise. Are you okay with everything?" Anna nodded and reached for his hand. "No thoughts to share yet?" he asked, and she shook her head. "I know I did a lot of planning," Alex admitted. "Did I take away from your excitement? Do you think we should have waited to get married so we could have different things at the wedding?" Anna shook her head again, then turned to her laptop to share her thoughts with him. As he read what she wrote, he occasionally added his own replies. They had gotten used to communicating this way. "I know many girls love to plan everything, choosing colors, dress styles, and decorations," she typed. "My friends talk about those things a lot when we have nothing else to say. If I get married on this date, one might say, followed by plans for colors, dress style, flowers, and the song for the first dance. That's fine for them, but I don't think about those things." "I'm glad to hear that," he replied. "I worried that you might feel a bit left out, even if it sounds funny for a bride. I want this whole experience to feel special for you. If the little choices bring you joy, like the few options I gave you, then I'll feel like I did my job. I just want you to feel included." Anna smiled and cupped his cheek. He understood her feelings without needing words. "What I care about most is you," she typed quickly. "I want you to be the one waiting for me as I walk down the aisle. My close friends as bridesmaids are also important to me. A priest to marry us would be nice, and it looks like that's been sorted out. The photographer we chose is really good, and coming on Sunday means they already know our group. It will be nice to see everything from a different perspective since we'll be focused on each other all night. Yes, and you as my bride, my love. I can't imagine anyone but my friends with you. And I'm so glad you invited Care to be your special helper. I'm thrilled you two got along so well. I'll be lost in your eyes forever. No silly faces here. You are my gift, and I value you so much." How about green dresses for the girls? And for the guys, green bow ties but paisley vests and green pocket squares? Does that sound good? Can your bow tie, vest, and pocket square be white? Oh, and I want my dress to be white. Is that okay? I thought it would be perfect for a wedding gown when I saw it. It's beautiful, and I love it. I know what the dresses look like from the pictures I got for matching jewelry, Alex admitted, but I haven't seen you in them yet. I can't wait to see you walk down the aisle in your dress. We bought it before we even had a meal together. Can you believe that? Both of them laughed at that. And yes, green for the dresses, and those details for the men are exactly what I was thinking. I'm not too concerned about the food because I enjoy cooking, especially when it's my special day, Anna continued to type. Speaking of that, cooking and baking classes, that's what we're doing tomorrow, right? I'm so excited. I love that the rest of the group can choose from those options. I'm guessing someone is in charge of paying for entry, lunches, and some little gifts. Cake? I can't wait to see it. Have the flowers been ordered, or can I help with that tomorrow? And, can I see the rings? How did you like the food tonight? Anna nodded and smiled. I made sure to check for any allergies in our group of 33 people. Only one person has a serious allergy, so we made sure to avoid that item completely. Cooking classes? Is that really what you want to do? Alex chuckled when he saw Anna's excited reaction. Of course I want to join you. I've arranged for Dan to take care of the art museum visitors, and Brian is in charge of the winter activities. Even if it's just the two of us cooking, it'll be amazing. I can't wait to do that with you. I thought we could stop to order the flowers on our way to the cooking school. I have a florist who is ready to prepare everything and deliver it on Sunday. I had an idea of what we might want, but I wanted you to help decide. She can't get really exotic or rare flowers at this time, but she has plenty of nice options. Anna nodded while listening, but then shook her head. She quickly typed and handed the laptop to him. No, you know what? Whatever you decide is fine with me. I don't have strong feelings about it. It's not like there are green flowers. If they were pink, we'd want the exact shade to match. But green goes well with all flowers, especially with the shade we chose. Now, about those rings? Alex jumped up and exclaimed, Right! Hold on! He hurried to the bedroom to grab them from his bag. He returned quickly and sat beside Anna, pulling out the box. What do you think? He asked, showing her the contents. Anna gasped in surprise. The rings looked beautiful together, making sure her band and engagement ring matched perfectly. Anna, the ring is okay, right? I know people often think I would get you a huge diamond that would be heavy on your hand, but I know you wouldn't want that. When I saw this ring while talking to Mr. Cardinal, I just knew it was perfect for you. When I mentioned it, he looked at me doubtfully until I explained your preference for something simpler just in case it ever got lost. I felt in my heart it was meant for you. He shook his head and then chuckled. Well, Mr. Cardinale said to me, when I was picking rings for you to look at, there was one I thought about a lot before I decided not to show it. The fact that you chose that ring from all the others means it was meant to be. Anna smiled and touched her ring. She looked at their wedding bands again and then up at Alex. I love them, she silently said before leaning in to kiss him. Alex placed the ring box on the table and pulled her into his lap. I love you, Alex whispered softly before showing her just how much he cared. They shared a sweet moment until Alex sighed, leaning back while bringing her down with him. There's still more to talk about before we get too caught up. For example, did you notice anyone missing from the group? I know you were surprised to see Mrs. Edgemeyer. She has done so much for you, and I wanted to make sure she was recognized. Anna shook her head, signaling that everyone was there and touched her heart. Okay, last thing. Honeymoon plans. We can stay in this room until we leave on Monday. We got a good deal for reserving a banquet hall for 3 days and 16 rooms. The girls are in a suite together, and I put Brian and Caroline in a suite too, just because I thought they'd enjoy it. So, are we flying somewhere? You can choose. Just know the next 3 weeks will take us out of town. Anna grabbed her laptop to start writing down her ideas. Although Alex had done most of the planning, he wanted her to have a say. They had so many options, but this was their honeymoon. Until her next cycle, they could enjoy their time together fully. Babe, I want to share something, but please don't take it the wrong way. I know you might want to go to a tropical paradise or see a new place. But honestly, for our honeymoon, I want to stay home and make it ours. I want to visit my aunt's house to pick up the rest of my things and finally be free from that chapter of my life. I want to spend a day in bed with you, laughing, talking, and just enjoying each other's company. I want to visit the art museum with you. I want to start our life together. I've said it before, and I will say it 1,000 times. You are a treasure, Christiana Maria. That sounds like the perfect plan, he said, kissing the top of her head and then her lips when she looked up at him. No more distractions. I need to ask you a few more things. Don't forget about getting a garter, Alex added, and Anna nodded. Oh, something new. Understood. The jewelry, the dress, and the shoes, and... What? Alex laughed when Anna acted like she was getting annoyed. Well, they are, he teased while chuckling. Something old, borrowed, blue? Anna shrugged. Let me think about that. We should stick to traditions, right? There was a brief silence until Alex suddenly exclaimed, Oh, I just thought of something else. Tradition says we should sleep in separate beds the night before the wedding and we're not really supposed to see each other until the ceremony. What do you think? No, Anna said clearly, then picked up her laptop to type her response. She was typing quickly, and Alex almost smirked at how she had already made her point. I spent 7.5 nights away from you after being next to you for a whole 6-day weekend. I've done my part. I won't be separated from you again unless it's really needed. Alex read her words and nodded, considering everything she said. The thought of someone asking about their arrangement made him nervous. He was also inspired by her strong feelings on the matter. You're right, sweetheart. And I agree. I don't want to spend a night away from you for a long time. While I did sleep during my trip, it wasn't as good as the sleep I get with you. I know you rested too, but I heard there were a few nights when you were upset. I'm so sorry about that. You know why I had to be away, right? It was for us, and I didn't want to distract you from healing. Anna stayed still next to him, thinking for a moment before she typed quietly again, more calmly this time. Yes, I slept and I cried. It was necessary, but it broke my heart to be away from you. You've become my guiding star. That feels a little scary. I rely on you. Without you, I don't know where I would be. Maybe I would be losing my home soon. Would I have found my voice again? Would I have been able to get another job? Alex, I love you. And I believe in that more than almost anything else, but it's the what-ifs that worry me. Like, when do we sign the prenup? Is that something we do when we get the marriage license? I have no idea how much money you have, but I have a feeling it's a lot and will keep growing no matter how many kids and grandkids we have or trips and houses you buy. I think about how, without you, I might have ended up without a home, and I worry that I'll be in your way. Anna sniffed and got up to go to the bathroom while Alex read the message she had just typed. A burden? Why did she think there would be a formal agreement? When had he even mentioned that? Had Brian said something? Dan? Alex was sure he hadn't spoken to either of them about it because he had no plans for her to sign anything. What made her think that? Then he remembered her messages in the app. Had she written something there? Had he been too tired to notice? Or had she added more updates that he hadn't seen? When he clicked on the dates, he found she had written more since he last checked. That explained why he hadn't noticed. Reading through her words, he smiled at the mention of Brian and Caroline's visit. But when he read about the formal agreement, he shook his head. No way. Alex looked up and saw Anna sitting on the arm of the chair nearby, watching him read on his phone. He put it down and motioned for her to come sit next to him. Anna, why do you think there will be a formal agreement? Who said anything about it? I hope Dan didn't say anything. I certainly haven't. Based on what I read about Brian's visit, I doubt he thinks you'll be signing anything either. Did someone else say something? Anna shook her head firmly and raised a finger, signaling him to stop guessing. While she typed on the laptop, he noticed a few tear streaks on her cheeks. Why was she upset? No one said anything about a plan or that you wanted something formal. When Brian and Caroline were talking, it made me think I should be protecting what you have. I plan to work and earn my way in the future, but my earnings will be very small compared to yours. I worry. No, we're not going to keep going like this, Alex said firmly as he took the laptop from her. He set it down and turned to face her. Anna, I love you. I met you one day and was head over heels by the next. I truly believe we are meant to be together. I have enough for both of us and I'm happy to share it with you. I don't think of you as someone after money, not at all. Soon, when the time is right, we will meet with Eric, and I'll share all my assets with you because they will be ours. Yes, some may think I'm foolish, and they may be right, Anna. I'm crazy about you. I want to give you everything. I've stepped back from my job, but I don't plan to just relax for the next 70 years of my life. I want to marry my wife, build a life with her, and support her in achieving her dreams, which are becoming my dreams too. We also have a lot to figure out. From the time I approached you until now, and even in the future, I will always see you as my partner and my equal. Please look at me. Anna lifted her gaze and sighed, resting her head on his arm. Imagine if the roles were switched. If you had all the money and fell for me, someone who had little, would you see me differently? Would you think of me as less than you? Anna shook her head quickly. Never, she signaled, shaking her head again. She picked up her laptop and typed. If I had a lot of money, I'd want to share it and be generous. Just because you don't have any doesn't mean you don't deserve it. If we're in love, I'd want to share it and create more together. Let me support you then, Alex said, giving her a knowing look. He sighed. Remember when you talked to Brian and Care, wanting to help them even without knowing everything? You took the initiative because you cared. Anna nodded. Listen to me. I don't want a prenup. I'd never want that weighing on your mind, making you feel uncertain. The only thing that might catch you off guard is how much I adore you. Anna smiled and snuggled closer to him. In just a day and a half, you'll be my wife, my partner, my true connection. Along with that comes the promise to be there for you every day, showering you with love in many forms, like gifts, adventures, and surprises as we start our life together. Alex gently lifted her chin to meet her eyes. Can you handle that? Will you let me love you wholeheartedly for our entire lives? Will you allow me to do the same? Anna typed her response and handed the laptop to him. I may not have a lot of money, but I have the same love, respect, passion, and desire to make you happy, Alex. Alex smiled, closed the laptop, quickly lifted Anna, and brought her into the bedroom. They shared tender moments, feeling connected as they enjoyed each other's company, cherishing the love they had been longing for since the morning when he returned to her. It had only been 2 weeks since they first connected, but they felt a strong bond growing every time they were together. They spent the night enjoying each other's company, resting, taking a shower, and enjoying the hot tub, which turned into a new and fun experience for them. They finally drifted off to sleep after another shower around 4:30 in the morning and didn't wake up until 8:30, just minutes before they needed to catch a cab to meet their friends at the store. When they hurried down to the lobby around 8:46, they saw their friends waiting for them. They were met with knowing smiles and a few playful nudges from the group as they simply said good morning while heading out to the limo Dan had arranged for them. Did you sleep well? Dan asked when only the 3 of them were left to get into the limo. After we finally got to sleep, Alex replied. We had a lot of catching up to do, he told his godfather. Wasn't it around 4:30? He asked Anna. She smiled and shook her head, gave Dan a quick kiss on the cheek, and hopped into the limo with their friends without saying anything further. So, how much are we buying today? Sam asked Alex. I have some clothes for dressing up, but I'm worried about the shoes. Everything from head to toe, Alex replied. After the store, we'll stop at Mr. Cardinale's place to pick up the gifts for the bridesmaids and groomsmen. The girls squealed with excitement. Anna looked at Alex. What? He asked playfully. Thanks. I hope that means I get to pick out a few things too, she whispered in his ear. What I choose will definitely be a surprise for you tomorrow night. She teasingly pulled away, giggling as Alex made a playful groan. Get a private space, you two, Paulie joked while watching them. Don't be jealous, Brian said with a smile, happy for his friend. I think it's really sweet, Sarah agreed. Sure, but not everyone here has someone to be all mushy with, Paulie pointed out. Us neither, Sam replied, but it's great that our friends are happy together, sharing this special weekend with us. Just look at them. Can anyone else look that in love? Your turn will come, young lady, Dan said, looking at her. For all of you, he added, pointing to the 3 girls and 2 single guys. I hope you each get to feel a love as strong as theirs. Alex cleared his throat and playfully mentioned Brian, while pointing at his best friend. Yes, And it's nice to see two happy couples enjoying their time together with us, Dan added. These days, it feels like everything is about parties and being selfish. We're here, Sam shouted, and the girls all cheered again. Dan just shook his head. He liked them, Alex knew that, but they were still young and loud. Dan was getting older, and it became clearer to Alex every year. Alex reminded the girls about what they needed to focus on and pointed at Anna, as if to ask her to help keep everyone on track. He kissed her briefly before pulling away, mainly because Dan placed his hand on Alex's shoulder to guide him toward their task. Alex thought he could hear the girls' excitement even from a floor above. He made sure the guys were clear on what they had decided about their outfits, then talked with Dan, convincing him to wear a tux as well. Dan agreed but chose to stick with a black tie, vest, and pocket square. Once everything was set, but before Alex paid for their items, he jokingly asked if they also needed socks or anything else. Everyone laughed, which was good because when they got back upstairs, the mountain of items the girls piled onto the counter made them laugh even harder. The boys found it funny, though Alex wasn't bothered by it. Girls certainly needed more things than boys did. At one point, Anna took Dan aside to chat. Alex was happy to see their friendship growing. He hoped it would always be like this for them. He watched as Anna hugged Dan and laughed at something he said. Then she went to talk with Caroline. The two giggled, nodded, and walked off together to find something. Alex smiled and looked over at Brian, who had also been watching the girls. "Now I'm going to have to marry her," Brian joked, but Alex could tell he was partly serious. "If we break up, I'll still see her all the time because she'll always be with Anna, and Anna is always with you." Alex chuckled and gave Brian a friendly pat on the back. "Since you two are moving in together, you must have thought about a future together. I know Anna discussed this with you all last weekend. It might not happen today or this weekend because she'll think you're just caught up in the idea of marriage, but soon you might want to figure out if she's the one for you. She's already thinking about it, and I can tell you're ready too. It would be a privilege for me to stand beside you when you marry the person you love." "You're not going to give me a big hug or anything, are you?" Brian asked, stepping back a little. "Definitely not," Alex replied, chuckling as he tapped Brian on the back. "I have a fiancée now. She keeps me warmer than you ever did." Alex playfully winked at him and then walked away. "Hey, you said you'd never tell!" Brian exclaimed, laughing as Alex was approached by three friends who asked for his help with some decisions they were making. Once everyone had gathered everything they needed for the special wedding, all the items were packed based on who they were for, including 4 dresses. The entire order, along with the men's things, was sent to the hotel to be held in a special room at the front desk until their return. Alex noticed that Anna also had a bag with several items. He was excited to see what she had chosen to wear. "Next stop, the hardware store," Sam announced to the limo driver, holding the door open for everyone. "You know," Sarah teased as everyone settled in for the ride to the jewelry store, "it's not too late to drop Sam from the lineup." Sam gasped while Anna and Savannah both laughed. Alex felt that Sarah was the only friend who could tease Sam like that. "Hardware?" Polly mocked, making it sound unappealing. Sam remained undeterred. She flicked her hair back and said, "One day you'll find your special person, Mr. Sutherland, and when she says that word, it will be the most wonderful thing." The look on Polly's face made Eric, Brian, and Alex nearly double over with laughter. "Welcome! Welcome!" Mr. Cardinale greeted everyone as they entered the store. "Anna? Hey, Anna, did you bring what I asked for?" Anna nodded and approached him, pulling something out of her purse to hand him. "Perfect. All right, everyone. Ladies, please gather here by the necklaces and earrings I've laid out for you. And gentlemen, come over here to check out the gifts Alex has chosen for you as his groomsmen. Come on." Anna joined her friends and pointed out something on her phone while showing it to them and indicating a specific necklace. Alex figured she had pictures of each girl's dress to help choose the right necklace. "Alex!" Brian called, making Alex turn around. "She can handle herself for 10 minutes. Come here. We want to know your thoughts on these." Alex shook his head, then went to help the guys choose their watches, cufflinks, and money clips from the selection Mr. Cardinale had set up. He had planned to have a message engraved on the backs of the watches and money clips, but the men got to pick which ones they liked best. The cufflinks were simple black for everyone. After collecting 4 necklaces, 4 bracelets, 4 sets of earrings, 5 sets of matching cufflinks, 4 money clips, 4 watches, and something else that Anna had brought to the counter, Alex paid a large amount and left the jewelry with Mr. Cardinale. He had a safe to take the items to the engraver first, and then to the hotel to give to Alex. "Let's go eat!" Eric shouted, pointing toward the limo. "Next stop, the hotel banquet room for a much-anticipated brunch." Did you get something for yourself?" Alex asked quietly as he and Anna sat together in a little corner of the back seat of the limo. "No, not for me," Anna replied directly. "I had to get my husband a gift, though." "What?" Alex asked softly. "But I didn't." He almost argued, but stopped when Anna raised her eyebrows. "Okay, fair enough. You're right. I'll accept that." He winked at her and leaned in to give her a gentle kiss. Anna smiled and then sat on his lap, wrapping her arms around him and kissing him back warmly. They shared a sweet moment when cheers and laughter erupted from the back of the limo. "Go for it!" Eric yelled. "Yay, Anna!" Savannah cheered, laughing. "It's getting lively in here," Dan observed. "Wow, that's nice," Sam added, surprised. When Anna pulled away, Alex felt a little dazed. "Don't move just yet," Alex whispered in Anna's ear. "I don't know if it's because we're in front of so many people or what, but I definitely felt that. Please, Anna, I'm at your mercy." He felt Anna smile against him since his mouth was close to her ear. "I love you, Alex," she told him. "I'll behave now." Luckily, by the time they reached the hotel, the moment had passed, and Alex was able to help all the girls out of the limo without any awkwardness. When Anna stepped out, he kissed her hand before taking it to walk her inside. Brunch was fun and cheerful. The seating arrangements were different from the night before, which was exciting for Alex and Anna. Even the parents were mixed up, chatting with different people. If it had been assigned seating, it would have been interesting to see. But since everyone chose where to sit after their first meal, both Anna and Alex were glad to see everyone enjoying the chance to mingle. After everyone had finished eating, Alex got their attention and began to speak. "So, who's going on which trips today?" Alex asked enthusiastically as the servers came around to clear away the empty plates. "If you're going on the winter fun trips, please see Brian by the poster over there," he said, pointing to his best friend. "If you're going to the art museum, check in with Dan, who is near the dance floor," he joked, knowing Dan had barely danced the night before. "And if you're joining us for cooking and baking, please come to our table. Whatever you choose, have a great time, and we'll meet for dinner at 6 p.m. right here in the banquet hall. Tonight, we will watch a movie on the big screen, again in the banquet hall with comfy chairs, popcorn, soda, and snacks. The feature film will be Wedding Date, starring Dermot Mulroney and Deborah Messing. Overall, all 33 people in the group, including Anna and Alex, joined in on some activity. Anna told Alex she was excited to see so many friends participating and making the most of their weekend. Brian's group of 13 included Caroline, Eric, Paulie, Savannah, Sarah, Sam, Maggie, Alex's secretary, and her husband Rich, Dr. Salas and her husband Mike, Tony, and her husband Donald. Heading to the art museum with Dan were Susan, her friend Courtney, their parents, and Sonia. Dr. Mitchell, his wife Claire, Mr. and Mrs. Cardinale, Mr. and Mrs. Edgemeyer, Stephen, his boyfriend Kyle, along with Alex and Anna, made up the final group going to the culinary school. The limo first took the art group to the museum, then returned to pick up the cooking students since their classes started later. The winter fun group had a party bus set up to travel from place to place, along with some sleds that were bought for the occasion. Alex intended to donate them to a children's charity afterward. At 4 p.m., Alex and Anna entered the hotel, laughing and holding hands. He chatted with the front desk about shopping bags and was led to their room to gather their things. Soon they were on their way to their room. In the elevator, Anna playfully slid her hand up the back of Alex's coat. She then ran her fingers lightly through his hair, causing him to feel butterflies. He tried to act cool about it, but once they were in their room with the door shut, he stepped forward and pulled her close, and she was ready. Her coat slipped off her shoulders, and she wrapped her legs around him as he held her. They were pressed together, sharing a kiss that deepened as they got lost in each other. "What you do to me, Anna," Alex murmured as he held her tighter, showing her how much he cared for her. "I'm so excited," he said before leaning in to kiss her again. "Can we go to the bedroom?" Anna asked between breaths. I really want to be close to you, she added as he turned to guide her to the bedroom. He gently set her down, and they quickly removed their clothes until they stood together, feeling free. He stepped forward and wrapped his arms around her, leading her back to the bed. I care about you a lot, he said softly, holding her face and kissing her. They moved closer together, feeling a strong connection. Anna gasped as they shared that moment. Please be with me, Anna said almost desperately as she welcomed him. She wrapped her legs around him as they embraced, enjoying the closeness. You feel amazing. I can't get enough of you, he responded, kissing her deeply. I feel so happy right now, he said as they shared that connection. After a while, they came down from their moment, lying together contentedly until he gently shifted away and lay by her side. That was wonderful, he said, catching his breath. Anna touched his arm, resting on her stomach. It wasn't long before they both fell asleep. Alex woke up slowly and glanced at the clock on the nightstand. It was 6:15 p.m. Oh no, I forgot to set the alarm for dinner, he whispered. Suddenly he remembered. Anna, he said loudly, waking her up. It's 6:15, we're late for our dinner. Anna quickly sat up and shook her head. Well, there's nothing we can do now, she said with a yawn. Let's take a quick shower, get dressed, and go, she suggested. She grabbed the phone from his hand, typed something quickly, and then lay back down for a moment while he read her message. They might laugh, but it's okay. Why are we dressing up anyway? She asked. Back in the day, people liked to dress up for dinner in a movie, he explained. I thought it would be nice. Now that we're running late, I wish I hadn't planned it this way. But we can make it work, right? Come on, let's get moving. He took her hand and lifted her gently off the bed, leading her to the bathroom. By 6:45 p.m., Anna and Alex opened the door to the banquet room and walked in. To their surprise, everyone was seated at different tables with new company, enjoying their meals and chatting cheerfully. When Alex saw his godfather, Dan, he smiled back, raised his glass, and winked at Alex. No one mentioned their late arrival or how they felt about their outfits. Everyone was simply enjoying the party. Alex and Anna decided to head straight to their small table near the dance floor instead of stopping at each table. The comfortable chairs were already arranged on the dance floor facing a large screen, with a few bigger ones in the back for more people to sit together. Alex thought about choosing their seat right away, but he stayed close to Anna and made sure she was seated comfortably first. Good evening, sir, ma'am, the server said when they settled in. I have your drinks ready. Would you like to start with soup or salad? The main dishes will come out as soon as you finish your choice. I'll have the soup, please, Anna said clearly. Alex gently squeezed her hand to show his support. Soup for me, too. Thank you, Alex said, turning to Anna. What are those drinks? Anna asked, unsure. Remember when we talked about our favorites? I usually stick to beer with my friends, just one or two. But since you haven't tried mixed drinks, I thought we could sample a few. This one is a tequila sunrise. If you don't like it, that's okay. Just give it a try. When Anna tasted it, she made a funny face, which made Alex chuckle. Be honest, but I'm guessing that the taste of the alcohol isn't your favorite. That's tequila. But do you like the sweeter flavor? Anna nodded and shrugged softly. Here's your soup, Tim announced as he placed it in front of them. Tim, could you take these drinks back? Anna hasn't had mixed drinks before, so I thought we'd try some together. Can you bring us amaretto stone sours instead? I'll settle the bill at the end of the weekend unless you hear differently, Alex said kindly. Sure, sir, Tim replied, and accepted the $50 bill Alex handed him. Thank you. Oh, the soup is really good, Anna said, encouraging Alex to taste it. Yours is better, but this is nice too, she added, adding some crackers to her soup and continuing to enjoy it. Soon their new drinks arrived just as they finished their soups. I'll bring out your main dishes shortly, Tim told them. How did you like your soups? Excellent, Tim, Alex said, wiping his mouth. Thanks for the drinks. My pleasure, sir. Oh, and the bartender mentioned that everything will be ready by Monday. He appreciates it. Let me go get your main dishes now. Enjoy your drinks. Thank you, Tim, Anna said before turning to Alex. Let's give this next drink a try, Alex suggested to her. I think you're going to like it better. When Anna took a sip, her eyes widened and she went for a bigger drink. Ah, we have a winner, Alex joked and took a sip himself. Oh, that is good. I've only tasted one thing sweeter, and that belongs to my fiancé. Anna processed what he said and then covered her mouth, surprised by his words. Alex! Anna laughed, smiling behind her hand. What? I'll enjoy this now, but tonight I think I'll show you what I mean. Get ready, future wife. I see a fun evening after the movie. Alex shrugged. What can I say? I know a good thing when I see it. He leaned in closer and whispered, The day I met you, I knew I had to know you better. And Anna, I've been grateful for that moment every day since. He added softly, I love you so much. Am I interrupting something? Caroline asked, standing by their table. Alex took a deep breath and slowly moved away. Nope, Alex said with a smile. What's up? Can we take one of the chairs now? There are only 6 special chairs, and I want to make sure Brian and I get one. Is that okay? Go ahead and take one, but can you do me a favor? Alex asked while reaching for his coat that he had hung on his chair. Can you put my suit coat on another chair? I was planning to sit down earlier, but we were running late. Yeah, about that, Caroline teased as she leaned in and lowered her voice. What happened? We took a nap after the cooking class and forgot to set the alarm, Alex replied truthfully. It had been a long night, and waking up was harder than we thought. The suite is amazing, Alex, Caroline said with a note of gratitude. Thanks for doing that for us. The girls are just down the hall, thankfully. Being in a hotel feels different and allows for more noise, you know? Absolutely, Anna agreed before Alex could speak. I'm glad you're here, Care, she added. Oh my gosh, me too, Caroline replied. And your speaking is getting so much better. I knew once Alex got home your motivation would grow, and honestly, you two look great together. Your dress is beautiful tonight, Anna. I can't wait to see the one you'll wear tomorrow. I can't believe none of us has seen it yet. Alex reached over and held Anna's hand to keep her from answering. Won't she be stunning for all 33 of us, including the priest? But you have the top honor until she walks down that aisle, Care. Her personal assistant gets to see her first. I know, Caroline said excitedly. Really, Anna, I'm so happy and honored. I'll go save us some chairs. I'll talk to you all later. Anna grabbed her phone and quickly typed a note to Alex. Dan, Brian, Eric, Paulie, and a special one for you boutonnieres. Care wrist corsage, 3 S's, is that the plan? Great idea, sweetheart, Alex said, pulling her in for a gentle kiss on her forehead. You're thinking the same thing I am. Oh, and I got you that special item, he added. Anna excitedly picked up her phone and typed again. Oh, I got the old and blue. Yes. Are you going to share? He asked. Will you tell me? She replied through her phone. I guess we'll wait until tomorrow, Alex said, kissing her hand just as the server arrived with their food. Oh, the drinks went over better this time, Tim observed as he set their plates down. Would you like seconds, or is there something else you'd like to try? Just one more tonight, Tim, Alex replied. Let's try your frozen strawberry daiquiris, but do let him know the sours were great. That's my favorite, too, Tim said with a slight bow before heading back to the bar. He's nice, Anna told Alex as they finished their drinks. Are you having second thoughts about me? Alex joked. Anna accidentally dropped her fork, making a clatter on the floor. The server heard it and rushed over with a new set of utensils. What? Anna said, smiling at Tim as he set down the new silverware. Alex, wait, what? Honey, I'm just joking, Alex promised her quietly but excitedly. Really, I'm sorry. I was just teasing. Not funny, Anna replied, leaning her face near his neck. Only you, Alex, I promise. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I never want to upset you. You're right. Tim is really nice. Alex gently held her cheek. And there's only you for me too, Christiana. I love you. He leaned in and kissed her softly. Ooh, do we get a sneak peek before the wedding? Maggie's husband, Rich, called out, bringing everyone's attention to the couple. Yeah, I hear the wedding party saw quite a bit earlier, Susan, who was with Maggie and Rich, added playfully. Kiss, 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 called out Stephen and Kyle from their table. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Several others joined in. Alex stood up and invited Anna to do the same by lifting her hand. She willingly accepted. He cupped her cheek and whispered in her ear. Here's a little preview for later, he said with a smile as he felt her shiver. I love you, Anna told him as his lips hovered near hers. I love you, he replied, before their lips softly touched. Slowly they shared a deep, heartfelt kiss that felt like it transported them to another world. Neither of them paid attention to the cheers and applause around them. They were focused only on each other. Anna held on tightly to Alex's arms. His hand rested gently on her back because her dress had a low cut that exposed part of her back. When a loud whistle broke the moment, Alex slowed down his kiss, ending it with a soft peck. The room burst into applause. "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the future Mr. and Mrs. Alex and Anna McLean," Brian announced loudly. As the crowd began to settle down, Dr. Salas spoke up. "All right, let's allow them to eat and enjoy catching up. The server told us that once they finish their meal, the staff will make some fresh popcorn. The movie starts at 7:30 p.m. While Dr. Salas was speaking, Tim brought their drinks. Alex raised his glass in appreciation of the doctor's announcement. After they sat down, Alex and Anna enjoyed their food quietly. Anna liked the drink too, so Alex felt pleased with the evening. When the movie started, everyone settled into their chairs with snacks. Alex and Anna, Brian and Care, along with a few other couples, cozied up together. The private screening was fun and felt close. Although Alex and Anna kept their kissing to a minimum, they shared whispers and light touches. The dancing scene made everyone laugh, especially when TJ danced alone. A particular scene in the movie caused a few guys in the room to shift in their seats. Alex was definitely ready to head to their suite for the night. When the movie ended, those who had watched it applauded, even if they had seen it before. The servers thanked them for staying and reminded them to throw away their items on the way out, looking forward to serving breakfast the next day. As they walked to the elevator, Anna leaned her head against Alex's arm. He bent down to kiss her forehead gently. "You both make such a lovely couple," Courtney, a friend of Susan, said as they waited for the elevator. "Susan told me I'd be amazed by how you two interacted, but I didn't really believe it until I saw the proposal last night. How long have you been dating? I think she mentioned it was since high school." Alex looked down and noticed Anna smiling against his suit before she shook her head. That was unexpected. Not quite," Alex replied politely. "Did you tell them what you said at the table?" Susan asked as she joined them. "Yes, I was just saying that if I had to guess how long they've been together, I would say since high school." Their closeness, the comfortable way they stood together, and the gentle kiss showed they had been together for a long time. Susan paused, her voice sounding a bit nervous. "I will take her back to our room and make sure she sits down before I tell her what really happened." Alex wished them good night and led Anna into the elevator. The two women whispered quietly, and Alex thought they were being nice by giving Anna and him some time alone. 2 weeks, 5 to 6 years. It's all the same, Alex joked as he removed his jacket and placed it over Anna's shoulders from behind her. "She's right, though. Not about the time, but about how we fit together. It feels so easy. We belong together, my lovely girl." He leaned in closer to her ear. "Are you tired?" Anna just shrugged. "Do you think you could stay up for a bit longer? I mean, less talk and more fun." Anna shivered, and Alex smiled at her. When they reached their room, Anna turned and playfully walked backward, pulling on Alex's tie. He chuckled and removed the jacket from her shoulders, tossing it on a chair. Then, he took her hand and spun her around into a dance position. As he hurried to play their usual music, he quietly asked, "Dance with me, my love." Anna placed her hands on his arms and twirled with him. When they finished their dance, Alex looked down at Anna and smiled while gently cupping her cheek. "I am amazed by you. You have brought me a joy I never knew I could feel. We've been together for 2 weeks, apart for one, and now we're just hours away from promising to share our lives. I love you, Anna. I'm yours completely." "That," Anna said as she looked into his eyes, "should be in our vows." "The vows we'll share tomorrow?" Alex asked with a smile. "Those vows?" he teased, then nodded. "Let's write them down so we remember. I wasn't sure if you wanted to say something." "Of course I want to speak," Anna said quickly. "I need to share my thoughts. I will speak slowly. Maybe I can keep it short." "Done deal," Alex agreed. "Let's do that now before we forget. I can just imagine us being late for breakfast. They'll tease us then. I can hear them already saying, 'Save some for the wedding night.'" Alex laughed, pretending to be an old man. "Hey, who said you could start the honeymoon early?" he jokingly imitated in a playful accent. "I'm surprised no one said anything about us leaving together tonight." Anna took a deep breath and spoke firmly. I've done my part. I get you tonight. And every day after, my love, Alex responded seriously. Anna looked into his eyes and gently touched his cheek, signaling that she wanted to share a moment with him. He had never turned her down. Once they finished writing their vows, remembering special things they had said together, they planned to print them after breakfast at the cafe downstairs. Alex closed the laptop and turned back to her. Can I help you with that beautiful dress? He asked. Anna shook her head, stood up, and beckoned him to follow her to the bedroom. He was intrigued and even more surprised when she sat on the edge of the bed, took off her shoes, and continued motioning for him to come closer. Maybe start here, she said, pointing to her legs. Alex knelt in front of her and gently slid his hands up to her thighs. Anna smiled lightly, and as his hands moved, he realized something was missing. Did you forget to wear something to dinner tonight? He asked, a hint of surprise in his voice. Anna smiled, showing a bit of guilt. She lay back on the bed, encouraging him to follow through on his earlier words. He understood her signals well, proving he meant what he said. I was right, Alex said softly as she relaxed in front of him. He kissed her knee and then her foot. This is truly special. He then stood up, took off his tie, and started unbuttoning his shirt. I probably should have done this earlier. I got a bit distracted by how you looked tonight. Anna slowly came back to her senses and watched as Alex sat on the bed, taking off his socks. She crawled over to him, wrapping her arms around him. Alex smiled at her, appreciating her closeness. Feeling helpful, and maybe a little thankful? He asked, making her smile and blush as she helped with his belt and leaned in to kiss him. If it hadn't been for their previous experiences, he would have tried to keep their kissing light. But Anna had kissed him deeply before, and he didn't hold back this time either. She seemed to enjoy it even more. I like that you enjoy tasting yourself, Anna said with a smile. If I didn't know better, I'd say you like it. Alex laughed and leaned back, allowing her to continue. Do you want me to stand up, or do you have something else in mind? He asked. Either way is fine with me. I was thinking if you were ready, Anna replied as she gently pushed him so she could stand. She started to slide his pants down but paused. Just relax, I've got this, she assured him, kneeling in front of him. Alex chuckled. I remember that you don't need my help. He leaned back, ready to enjoy what she had planned. He couldn't believe how much he cherished moments like these. The closeness and attention she gave him made him feel lucky. After a while, when he calmed down, Alex noticed Anna had stood up and was adjusting her dress. The way she moved was captivating as she unbuttoned her dress and let it slide away. Just as he sat up again, he saw her approach him and couldn't help but smile widely. You're so beautiful, he thought as they embraced, enjoying the warmth of being close together. Are you ready for bed? Alex asked as she leaned back to look at him. Anna shook her head. Do you want to finish those questions we had from therapy? I still have a few left. She smiled, and Alex lifted her gently, bringing her to the head of the bed. Let's make the pillows comfy. I'll grab the laptop. Once settled, Alex brought his phone into the room, which was still playing music, and placed it beside him. Anna snuggled against him, ready to type. Sports, did you play any? Do you watch any? She asked. Alex nodded. I enjoy watching them all, especially during games. Well, maybe not soccer very often, but I would go to see it if someone invited me. We plan to attend all the sports events this year, at least once for each. I'm a Cubs fan. I've been to Sox games, but I cheer for the Cubs. I also like the Bears, Bulls, and Blackhawks. Did I play any sports? Not really. I was busy with college classes and didn't want to join any teams, but I would be open to trying any sport if someone asked. I didn't play any sports, but I would be willing to join in if invited, Anna typed. I've been to some Chicago baseball games with my schools, but they were short and supervised because we were young and taking buses. I would love to see the Bears, Bulls, and Blackhawks play. I'd like to watch at least one Fire game as well. Have you been to Cougars games? They are in a suburb near my hometown. It's much more relaxed there. I think we should do that this year. Maybe we can meet some friends there. We could get a box or just sit in the bleachers. Anna chuckled when she saw Alex roll his eyes at her bleacher seat suggestion. Fire? Chicago's soccer team? Anna typed, shaking her head at Alex. Really? Oh, right, sorry, Alex replied, shaking his head. Did you play any instruments? No, but I was in the choir. Does my singing count? Yes, it does. But can I count the recorder for me? Alex asked, laughing. I was great at that in 4th grade. Anna laughed and pointed at herself, agreeing. Can you do the Star Trek fingers? To answer, Alex showed her the gesture perfectly. Then he pointed at her. Yes, but I have to move my mouth at the same time, she typed. I'm not as good at it. As we're just hanging out, I'll spare you any teasing for now. But one day, I'm going to want to see that. I should also say that many people have played with that gesture, but I'm more of a Star Wars fan. I haven't seen many episodes or movies from Star Trek, but I know some character names from that universe. I'm all about Star Wars. Alex paused and then shrugged. So, are you an artist? I like to write, Anna typed, and I think cooking is my art and creative outlet. That's very true. I love your cooking. As for me, my talents are more in electronics and design, so my main interest is science, but I believe there is a bit of art to it, Anna said as she gently touched his arm. What is the wildest thing you've ever done? Let's write it down and share at the same time, Alex suggested, grabbing his phone to open a notes app. I talked to a girl at a bar and fell in love with her. I went to a convention with a guy who invited me, and I fell for him, Anna replied. They read each other's answers, leaned in, and shared a sweet kiss. I had a feeling we'd say the same thing, Alex commented, putting his phone down. So, what annoys you the most? Mine is when people lie. If someone lies or avoids the truth for their own gain, I can't trust them. I can't stand abuse of power. My brother used guilt to control me. My aunt and uncle took advantage of my situation when I lived with them. And when bosses or teachers say no just because they don't want to deal with you, even though it's their job, it's really unfair. Oh, I'm sorry you had to deal with that, Alex said after reading her thoughts. He leaned in and kissed her softly. What's your last question for me? Do you prefer pink flamingos, wind chimes, or a white picket fence? Anna asked. I'd prefer not to see pink flamingos, Alex replied. I like wind chimes when they aren't too loud. Maybe at a cabin or on a porch where the neighbors are far away. And I don't really need a fence. Same here. No pink flamingos for me, Anna typed back after they shared answers. Wind chimes can be nice, especially if they have a special meaning, like a thoughtful gift. We had a white picket fence because my mom always wanted one. It needed constant fixing, and it was always in the way. I didn't like it at all. So, meaningful wind chimes, but definitely no picket fence, Alex said, kissing the top of Anna's head. Do you have any more questions? I know you said it was the last one, but just in case. Anna shook her head against his arm. Are you tired? He asked. Anna nodded this time. I guess we should get some rest. We have a special day planned tomorrow. Are you excited? Anna nodded again and smiled up at him. I'm going to marry the best-looking guy, she said playfully. How about you? I plan to meet the most amazing girl at an altar. I think she loves me just as much as I love her. Do you think I have a chance of her saying I do? Anna nodded, taking a deep breath. She opened her mouth as if to speak, then shook her head and pointed to her throat. Yes, she silently said, cupping his cheek with a smile. I love you, she said silently, and nodded as Alex leaned in to kiss her. I love you too, Alex replied, wrapping his arms around her. No more talking, he whispered. Let's just enjoy each other. Soon, they were lost in their own world, happy to be together in the lovely room. They remembered how hard it was just days before when they couldn't share this moment. After they shared their love, Alex took her to the hot tub where they floated, kissed, and held each other close, feeling grateful for their time together. Well, what did you think? 2 weeks? They say when you know, you know. I love that even without much family, they have a wonderful group of friends to celebrate this special weekend. Here's the playlist of the songs they love dancing to. In Frunami by Steve Lacy, Pink White by Frank Ocean, Them Changes by Thundercat, Hell and Back by Bakar, Mirage by Orion Sun, Close to Heaven by Color. Me Bad, Feels Like Heaven by Kenny Vaughan and The Art of Love. Can We Talk by Tevin Campbell, Giving Him Something He Can Feel by En Vogue. Breakfast in Bed by Rihanna J. And a special shout out to the perfect song for this story, We Might Even Be Falling in Love by Victoria Monet and Bryson Tiller. I could listen to that on repeat for hours. Love, love, love. You should really give those songs a listen. They're beautiful. In the morning, about an hour before breakfast, Alex received a text that the jewelry had been engraved and was ready for delivery. He and Anna texted their friends and asked them to come down by 8:30 a.m. to pick up their items and bags for the day. All 10 of them met Mr. Cardinale in the room by the front desk to collect their things. Since Alex and Anna didn't have anything else to do upstairs, they went to the banquet hall to wait together until their friends arrived. As people came in, Alex and Anna greeted them warmly and chatted. Alex did most of the talking, encouraging Anna to save her voice. He knew she had been using it a lot. Susan had mentioned that just 2 days before. The group of 33 was becoming fast friends. Alex noticed how the seating changed, with people mixing and sitting with new faces. He was happy to see that both groups were getting along so well. Once everything wrapped up, Anna asked for the key to excuse herself. Alex felt a bright joy as he handed over the gift and watched her walk away. About 10 minutes later, Anna returned to the banquet room and a sense of relief filled Alex, one he hadn't even recognized he needed. She approached him, holding a few sheets of paper. After giving him an envelope and a small box, she went over to Caroline, showing her something on the paper while Caroline nodded. Alex wondered what they were discussing. "Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention?" Caroline called out, holding Anna's hand as she stepped onto a chair. "Hello, everyone, and welcome to the wedding day. As Anna's assistant, it's my great privilege to help ensure that Anna and Alex's wishes are fulfilled today. In about 15 minutes, we will have the rehearsal right here in the hall. You are all welcome to explore Chicago for a bit or return to your rooms. However, to keep these special moments just right, we kindly ask that you step out shortly so we can prepare for the perfect day for our lovely couple." The applause that followed brought a smile to her face. "At 1 p.m., lunch will be served here in the banquet hall," Caroline continued. "We invite you to join us for another delicious meal. Afterward, the bridal party will get ready for the big event we've all been anticipating. Ladies, we'll head to your suite. Gentlemen chosen by the groom, you'll go to Alex's suite. And at 5 p.m., you, Alex, and Anna's honored guests will witness a beautiful wedding. Thank you, and enjoy your day." Caroline quickly walked over to Brian while Anna showed her papers to her friends. Alex shrugged, took a seat, and opened the envelope. "Hey, love, you might be resting now, but I couldn't sleep any longer. Today is our wedding day. Even though you had time to plan much of this, I still want to do a few things for you. First, here's my gift to you, my groom. I hope you like it. I know you have the silver one you wore when we met, but this striking black one caught my eye, and I just had to get it for you. Second, I've picked a song for the girls and me to walk down the aisle. Is that okay? It fits with our song. Do we have one of those? Oh, maybe not yet, but I found one that I feel is just right, and it will lead me down the aisle to you. You'll see it, but not until 5 p.m. I printed your vows on nice cardstock, and mine will also be with you if that's all right. We won't say them until the wedding. I want everyone in our wedding party to feel that special moment when they hear them for the first time, just like our guests. They mean so much to me, Alex. Thank you for making my life so special. Also, as you've heard, we will stick to tradition and get ready with our respective groups. Let the guys tease you and let Dan share some wise thoughts. These are their rights, and we must respect them. You see, when you stand at that altar and promise to love, honor, and cherish me above all else, I want you to know that I'm not letting you go for the rest of the night. It's time to start practicing. Let's begin the next part of our lives. I love you, Alexander Manning McLean, more than anything. Now come kiss me so we can celebrate. I love you forever, Your Honor. Alex held the note close and shook his head, holding the box in his other hand. He opened the box and smiled at the watch inside. The note on top read, "When you check the time, remember that I'm thinking of you too. Your soon-to-be wife, Anna McLean." He took the watch out and turned it over. "I love you, Alex, forever. Your sweet girl, Anna, February 7th, 21. "Ugh, that woman," Alex said quietly, wiping his eyes quickly before anyone saw him getting emotional over a gift from his future wife. He left the card and box on a small table with his phone so he wouldn't forget them later. He felt a brief moment of unease about not having a gift for Anna before their ceremony, but he knew it would upset her since he had taken care of everything. To him, it didn't matter that the money had come from his accounts, but to her, it meant a lot. The real gift was letting their shared experience be special. Once the last guest left the room, Alex went over and embraced Anna, giving her a kiss. The group began to follow the plans Anna had shared with them. Caroline took her responsibilities seriously, which surprised Alex, but he could see that both Anna and Caroline were excited about how everything was going. They shared ideas and worked through timing issues until Anna came up with a smart solution. Everyone felt good about the plan, even if they were unsure of the music for walking down the aisle. Anna reassured them by showing a message she had prepared in advance, asking them to trust her. They all quickly agreed. After leaving the servers to set up for lunch, Anna and Alex walked to the lobby and waved at some of the bridal party who were heading out in a limousine. Alex gestured for Anna to follow him to the elevators to go back to their room. "Want to step out for a bit?" Alex asked. "We can grab our coats and take a walk outside. Maybe find a nice spot to sit?" Anna nodded and went to the closet to get their coats and accessories to stay warm. "Oh, about that envelope you gave me and the gift. Can I open them now?" Anna stepped back from the closet to see if Alex was serious. The look on her face made him laugh. "I'm just joking," Anna said with a sigh of relief, shaking her head as she closed her eyes and tilted her face up to the ceiling. "Come over here, though." She set their things on the bed and stood in front of Alex. He sat down and helped her onto his lap. "Thanks for this," he said, holding up a box. "Did I mention needing one? I know I wore the one on Friday because I checked the time while we walked to dinner after shopping." Anna shook her head. "It's funny. I usually check the time on my phone. I wear my watch for style at work, but now that I'm starting a new chapter in my life, I thought about getting a new one. The one you gave me? It's perfect, Anna. Exactly what I wanted." Anna silently said, "Really?" And Alex nodded. "I love it. And your message is the best thing I've ever seen on a gift." He leaned closer and whispered, "You made me cry." Anna pulled back and looked at him. "Yes, really," he confirmed. "I'll wear it for the first time when you change your name." Anna smiled and hugged him tightly. "Okay, you've got all our warm things. Do you have a place in mind to go?" Anna shook her head and pointed at her boots. "Oh, right. Go ahead and put those on. I'm fine with what I have. I think there's a park nearby where we can sit and watch people." Anna pointed at the laptop. "No, you won't need that." She tilted her head, questioning, but Alex just laughed and took her hand to lead her out of the room toward the elevators. As they walked to the park, Alex noticed Anna was looking around at the scene. It was a Sunday in February, so not many people were out, and those who were seemed to be rushing to escape the chilly weather. Anna smiled at Alex when she saw him looking at her. "It's beautiful out," she mouthed, pointing with the hand that held his arm. "I've seen better," he joked, pointing back at her. Anna tightened her grip on his elbow and nestled her head into his arm as the park came into view. Alex spotted a cozy bench a little off the sidewalk that seemed tucked away from view. "Ah, perfect," he said happily as he guided her to sit down with him. "Oh, it's good we have our long coats," Alex remarked. "I bet the wood on these benches is cold." Anna nodded and smiled as she took in the fresh air, feeling the briskness against her skin. "I wanted to share what the next month looks like and to make sure you're okay with everything," Alex explained. "If we have some extra time before lunch, maybe we could share a sweet moment together." "Okay then," Anna said slowly and firmly. "I like all your ideas." She shrugged, smiled, and looked at him with hopeful eyes as if to say he could come closer. Alex chuckled warmly and wrapped an arm around her, pulling her closer. "I appreciate your trust and confidence in me, but actually I wanted to have a talk." He gently leaned in, bringing her to sit on his lap. "Let's save the special moments for later." Anna felt a little thrill as she listened. "Now, about our plans," he continued, making sure they were looking at each other. "This week, besides enjoying each other's company, we have some serious things to discuss. We'll visit your aunt's house to gather your things. We can save packing for another time, as sorting through bills and other details will take a while. As Dan mentioned, we might need to pack and store their belongings, sell the house, and leave the key with the storage unit. We'll also meet with Eric and Brian to talk about our finances. I mostly need you to understand the basic details and sign some paperwork, which allows you to be part of things like checking accounts and benefits." The next 3 weeks will give us plenty of time for discussions, and I value your thoughts on everything." Anna listened closely as he spoke. He loved that they could share this moment even without her saying much. Occasionally, he wished she didn't have to go through the hard parts of recovery, but he was so proud of her for working through it and focusing on healing. "Anna, while I was away, I made plans for our future just like I said I would. It was more than just financial decisions. I wanted everything to be ready for you. Do you remember our talk about what you'd like in a home?" Anna nodded and noticed a small dog being walked by an older man nearby. "As soon as I knew you were safe and doing well, I flew to Wisconsin," Alex explained. "I found a cozy little cabin by a lake, and I signed the papers on Sunday. Once I explained how important it was to get things done quickly, the people I was working with were very helpful. They were glad to know that I was healing well. When I left there, I headed to Georgia. I had been looking online at some places in the southern states while we were talking about it, and one caught my eye. Everything about it is beautiful, and I think we're going to love it. All 3 houses will be perfect, Anna, especially when we add our special touch to make them feel like home." 3? Anna said, surprised, even though Alex could tell she hadn't meant to speak. He laughed when she quickly covered her mouth after saying it. They had agreed that she should keep her voice down until just before the wedding when she would practice her vows a few times. "Yep, and I can't wait to show them to you. The 3rd one is in Breckenridge, Colorado. It's wonderful. The house is at the end of a ski slope close to town, and exactly what we had in mind. We'll keep hot chocolate in the cabinets, plenty of firewood in the big laundry room, which is where we'll enter the house when we come back from skiing, and extra ski suits with all the gear so we can enjoy the hills while we're there." 3? Anna whispered again and held up 3 fingers to make her point. "I've worked really hard for the last 5 years, Anna, and I think I deserve some fun time. But I don't plan to just relax. We'll want to fix each house to be just how we want them, and you'll be busy with cooking classes while I take restaurant management courses. From what we've talked about, we can always change plans if you want to focus on something else. I want to invest in a new set of restaurants that we will start when we're ready. Your main focus will be on the food and cleanliness in the kitchens, while I'll focus on the business side, customers and sales. I chose each house based on what you told me you wanted and how close they are to places where we can open our own restaurants. This plan will only move forward when you feel ready. I'll invest the money to get started, but the success will come from your attention to the food, the mood, and the design." "Together?" Anna mouthed, pointing to herself and then to him. "Yes, I want to build this dream with you. Does that sound good? Do you feel like I understand your plans for the future? Do you need time to think?" "Alex, it's perfect," Anna replied enthusiastically. "Really? I never wanted to sell the company I built just to sit around for the rest of my life. That's not who I am. I always want to stay active, but from the moment I saw you shopping for us that first night, and then throughout the weekend as we talked, cooked, baked, and shared our food and ideas, I started to realize that this could be a new start for me. I plan to enjoy life, my love. I want to take classes and be your taste tester, and I will try my hand at cooking some meals too. I also want to spend some weeks focusing on this new talent in my life. I have been lucky enough to afford many things lately, but I never knew the best gift I could have wasn't about money at all. You have given me so much in the past 2 weeks. It means the world to me, and it didn't cost you anything. You shared your time, love, kindness, laughter, and joy. I never realized that these things were the true keys to happiness. You did it all so easily. I want to build a whole life with you. I can make it happen, but what we can do together is so much more valuable because of our bond and how strong we are as a couple." Anna raised her arms in the air playfully, pretending to show off her strength. She kissed one arm, then the other. "Power couple," she said with a laugh. "Hear me roar! Roar!" Alex couldn't help but laugh, especially when she actually let out a playful roar. He leaned in and motioned for her to come closer. She wrapped her arms around his neck and smiled sweetly into his eyes. "We're going to amaze the world with what we have together. Money doesn't measure what we're bringing to the table." "Money doesn't matter?" Anna repeated with a teasing look. She was usually careful with her words, so hearing him say something like that caught her off guard in a funny way. "Nope," he said playfully, still smiling. He started to repeat it, but Anna kissed him to quiet him down. So, Alex said breathlessly as Anna pulled away from the kiss. Are you okay with our plans for the next month? This week will be all about us and we'll enjoy lots of... He paused to make sure no one was listening. Tender moments, he whispered, making Anna laugh. We'll also take care of some things and plan for after our 3 weeks of visiting. Oh, we will be flying? Yeah, so we can. Alex thought for a moment and then hugged her tighter. Are you worried? Anna looked down and hesitated. Sweetheart, just because you've never flown before doesn't mean it will be bad. In fact, you are lucky because your first flight will be on a private jet. Most people fly for the first time on crowded commercial planes. If I promise to hold your hand and keep you safe, will you trust me like you usually do? Anna nodded but kept her head down. Babe, what's wrong? I'm just not used to this, she said, looking into his eyes. Alex, am I good enough for you? Are you sure? Anna, Alex said softly, surprised. How can you ask that? Haven't I told you many times how much you mean to me? If anyone might not fit in this relationship, it's me, not you. I'm not sure I deserve you. Alex sighed. Wait, let's make a deal. He set her back down on the bench and turned so one knee rested against the seat. Turn and face me, honey. I want to see your face. Anna turned and took his gloved hands. I love you. There's no doubt about it. I love you. For whatever reason, fate brought us together that day in that bar at that exact time. Sure, some strange, messed up planning from others played a role, but no matter how complicated it was, we met, and I truly believe it was meant to happen. That day, my life changed. From the moment I saw you, I knew you were special, someone I wanted to know better. It didn't take long before I felt that I wanted you in my life for reasons I couldn't explain, but it felt so right. When we shared that moment, I already knew you were the only one for me. I had made my commitment the day before when we spent time together. If you wanted to wait for more, I would have respected that. I could see how much you tried to make me happy, to give me everything you could to see me smile. I felt the same way about you, and it was almost overwhelming. I found someone to share that happiness with. I believe we will spend every day trying to make each other happy. Anna pointed at him and nodded. Is that it? Alex asked. Are you just scared about this? Anna nodded again, and Alex sighed, rubbing her hands gently. I know we come from different backgrounds. I know you're nervous, but I'm asking you to trust me as we go forward, just like you have with everything else. I may not know everything about you or your past, but I want to learn. I want to know you so well that I understand you better than you do yourself, and I want that for you too. Let's move forward together without holding back or hesitating. Can we do that? Anna looked at his face, searching for an answer. Finally, she closed her eyes and nodded. Yes, Alex, she said as she opened her eyes again and squeezed his hands. Yes, I want that more than anything, she continued slowly. I love you, she told him clearly. It was easy for her to say, and it touched Alex's heart once more. He gently put his hand behind her neck and pulled her closer for a kiss. Are you ready to head back? He asked, but Anna shook her head. She nestled against him and sighed. All right, 10 more minutes. Then we should grab all the items we need, like the fancy clothes and shoes. You know what? I changed my mind. You can't go without me. We'll get ready together and the others can wait. Anna had started laughing when he mentioned the items, sensing he might tease her about getting dressed separately. She playfully nudged his stomach and shook her head. No? Come on. Do I really have to wait to see you? Are we doing all the pictures separately, just the guys first and then the girls without seeing each other? Anna nodded and giggled. You're really making me wait until you walk down the aisle? Anna looked up and smiled at him. Totally worth it, she assured him and gave him a tight hug. It will definitely be worth it, Alex promised, smiling down at her. All this waiting just makes me more excited to spend time with you later. Just wait until tonight. We have so much planned after the party. Lucky me, she said, hugging him once again. Now are you ready? Alex asked, rubbing his hands together. I'm starting to feel a bit cold sitting here. Anna nodded and let him help her stand up from the bench. Before she turned away, she read the plaque on the bench. To my love, we will meet once again. ANCM 1,971 inches. Alex, Anna called before he started to walk. Look, she said, running her hand over the bench. 50 years, same letters. I hope he found peace, Alex replied, rubbing her arm gently. I never want to know life without you. Anna simply nodded. Back at the hotel, Alex and Anna gathered everything she needed for the wedding. He showed her that the vows were in the pocket of his tuxedo jacket, and mentioned that the rings would be in Brian's pocket. Anna quickly tucked something into the bag she was packing, and though she seemed secretive about it, Alex let her be. He thought it must be the something old or something blue she had mentioned shopping for. He also knew Dan would give her the something borrowed before the ceremony. Anna made sure to check off every item on her mental list before they were ready to leave the room. Hey, can you send someone to grab anything you left behind? If it's that important to you that we don't see each other before the ceremony, let's stick with that, Alex said. Anna nodded and followed him towards the elevators to put her belongings in their suite. To their surprise, the entire wedding party was gathered in the large room. Right back here, Caroline called out as she headed toward the bedroom. She signaled for Alex to hang up the dress and took the bag Anna was holding, placing it with the others on the bed. All right, everyone out, she said as they moved back to the common area. The programs are printed and ready for the ceremony, Caroline informed them as they entered the living room. The music is all set with the special note you gave the DJ, Anna. He promised to follow your instructions exactly. I can't believe only one person knows all this because she made the programs. And think about how many people she had to contact to sort everything out. You all really keep your special secrets close? She paused, excitement in her voice. It's so amazing, she squealed and hugged both of them. Okay, Team A&A wedding, Caroline announced, standing in front of the group. Let's go to lunch. We've got showers to take, hair to dry, makeup to do, and it's girl time. She playfully sang the last two words, making Alex grin. Caroline was really getting into her role. Lunch started off slow, but soon all 33 guests were chatting excitedly. Alex and Anna were quiet, knowing they would be apart until they met again at the altar. I'm going to miss you, even if you're just a few floors down, Alex said softly. Anna nodded, gazing lovingly at him. But once all this is over, you're mine, Lopez, forever. She smiled and gently squeezed his hand. If we got through 7 days, even though it was tough, we can manage a few hours. I can't wait to see you as my wife. Anna looked into his eyes, smiling as she felt a warm blush. Me too, my love, Anna replied, leaning in for a soft and gentle kiss. As their lips parted, Alex closed his eyes. Those, he said simply, then opened his eyes and smiled. Those kisses keep me coming back for more, sweet girl. Just wait until later, Anna teased, giving him a quick kiss before getting up to walk over to Caroline, who had been trying to get her attention. Hey, Polly exclaimed, as he popped open a bottle of soda in the living area of the honeymoon suite. They didn't have much to do to get ready, so they were relaxing with a movie quietly playing on the TV. Alex had agreed to one drink after lunch. I can't believe you're getting married. 2.5 weeks ago, you were wondering what to do when the media started asking about a date for the convention, and now look at you. Seriously, you are happier than I've ever seen. Alex lifted his bottle as if to say thank you for the compliment. Care and I spent time with Anna last Sunday, Brian told the group. She's amazing. I mean it. That girl is perfect for him. The way she talked about him and how she felt being away from him was so real. And look at Alex. The guy is clearly enchanted, Eric joked, raising his hands in defense as a pillow flew his way. Captivated, thank you, Alex chimed in. I can't explain it better than that. For some reason, I stood up to leave the bar that day, but then I thought, what would it hurt to just take a look? Not like me, right? But when I saw her face, I was lost. She's beautiful. In many ways, I've heard, Brian teased back. Point taken, Alex replied. Okay, I have to ask, Eric said, pausing the movie to get their attention. You and Brian make comments about things, and I can't quite figure it out, but it feels like there's more to it. What are you talking about? Dan asked after finishing his beer. We all joke around, but Brian is the only one who offers proof, Eric explained. I know Paulie has said his first time was on prom night in high school. I've mentioned I was at a party and things just happened with the girl I was with. Brian talks a lot about his nights with Care, but when I think back, and trust me, I don't dwell on this as much as you might think, but come on, groom of the hour, when was your first time? Gentlemen, a man has the right to keep some things private, Dan argued. No, Dan, Eric's right, Alex said. These are my friends, right? They aren't going to go to the media and spill anything, especially now that my wedding is just hours away. By next week, I'll be old news when it comes to that most eligible bachelor stuff. Eric, Paulie, I've always respected you two for being great friends. I've heard your stories and learned from them. I've also had a different view about relationships. I knew I didn't want to just be with anyone. That's part of what bothered me about my past relationships. Other than with Michelle, I was genuinely considering being serious with those girls. Tara was my first real girlfriend, you know, but it didn't take long for me to change my mind. Once she brought up my money one too many times, I was out. Natalie was very different from Alex, which was a relief at first, but it soon led to problems. When I heard she was becoming a nun, it all made sense, Brian said. What? Paulie reacted in surprise. Yeah, her issue with my money was that I wanted to spend some on her, Alex explained. Her mom called to tell me about her choice to join the convent and shared some of the struggles Natalie faced. She even thanked me for being the reason Natalie finally made this decision. Wow, that's wild, Eric said. Now, wild? That was definitely Michelle, Brian joked. Michelle wasn't ever a serious option for me, but it was fun to relax a little, Alex admitted. When she talked about her time with others while I was away, it just confirmed that things were already ending. I wasn't interested anymore. The one that really affected me was Lisa, Alex said, shaking his head. I truly liked her. She was amazing. And she was married, Brian pointed out. How come we didn't know this? Eric asked, surprised and looking at Paulie, who looked shocked too. Not something I advertise or want to admit, guys, Alex confessed. I think you should know that Anna was hurt hearing about it too, Dan added, patting Alex on the back. When I told the girls the story, I mentioned how much Alex liked Lisa. Anna looked sad, so I asked if she wanted me to keep going. Oh, Dan, Alex replied with a sigh. I wish I had known that. I just told you about the visit from the girls and didn't want to ruin your mood, Dan said in defense. It was important to share about the past relationships, and it was good that her friends were there to support her. In the end, she was glad to hear about them and understands how special it is that you chose her. It brought some tears to her eyes when she heard about how Alex felt, but they quickly turned to laughter when the girls reacted in shock that Lisa was married. There was a lot of laughter, and even Anna covered her face to hide her happy tears. It hurts to know she felt pain just because I was gone, Alex said thoughtfully. See? That's what I'm talking about, Brian said, pointing to his best friend. Alex is truly in love with her. He's committed in every way. The man is no good for any other woman again. That's right, Alex agreed, lifting his almost empty bottle to show he meant it before drinking the last bit and putting it back on the table. We've heard enough about Mariah's troubles, so we don't need to talk about that anymore, Brian said. Do we have any updates on the company's sale or if they have found out about anything? Dan asked. I heard yesterday that about 10 calls have come in, and there were some talks of lawsuits for misleading info, Brian shared. But their lawyers are still looking through my well-written, strong contracts to find anything wrong on our side. And don't forget the great financial records, Eric added, leaning back on the couch behind Paulie and Dan. Yes, you are all doing great, Dan said with a smile and shook his head. Maggie has heard from several workers in the company and knows what many of them will do, Alex told them. But she says any talk about work will have to wait until after the wedding. Since she is not my employee anymore, I can't make her tell me anything. She's right, Dan said. No work talk. Focus on the wedding. Oh, he'll be thinking about his girl all night, Brian joked and laughed. Yeah, like he hasn't been thinking about her since he got back early Friday morning, Dan commented. Care is very serious about traditions, especially since we've been to 3 weddings together while dating. One girl skipped the separation before the ceremony tradition, and I thought Care was going to say something to her. But when she saw you two going back to your room together last night, she even told me how great that was. Did Anna not want to do that one? In her words, Alex said, picking up his laptop, opening the file she typed up and turning to face his friends. I paid my dues. I have done this many times before. I will not be apart from you again unless I have to. But did you two spend the night together? Brian asked. I'm sure she wanted to wait until tonight to make it special, he said, using air quotes. You bet we did, Alex replied, shaking his head. We needed to catch up. You had an argument? Eric asked. No, you fool, Brian said, shaking his head. I mean time. When they were together a lot and then had to be apart for a whole week, they needed to catch up. Brian turned to Alex. But did you two have a fight? Not really, I think. It was just playfulness as we were getting to know each other, Alex answered. She made a sarcastic comment about how, since I have all this money, she thought I must have traveled everywhere and done everything. She was surprised that I hadn't done some things or visited certain places, so she ended up writing an apology and left me alone for a bit. Then she returned with cookies, a candle, and a song from Marilyn Monroe playing on her phone. Any awkwardness disappeared, and about an hour later, things escalated, so we were on good terms. Hold on a minute, Polly said suddenly. You had a chance to be with those 5 girls, at least 4 of them, but you chose to be with Anna? Just 4 days after you met her? Eric asked. You waited for the others, but with her, it only took 4 days. First off, guys, Dan explained, it really was 4 full days, not counting any breaks. In dating terms, that's like at least 16 dates. So 4 days means 48 hours divided by about 3 hours per date. They even slept next to each other since they first met. Those other girls never got that kind of time, and I can promise you that Anna and Alex shared more in those 4 days than most people do over several months. Also, all I can say is, when you know, you know. And listen, guys, I know you've met her and seen her with Alex, but if Alex ever lets her out of his sight, try to spend some time with her, Brian urged. Even without her singing, her words, her looks, her smile, and her laughter are amazing. Brian, she's already with someone, remember? Polly joked. You can't have her. You've got Care, and Alex is about to marry Anna. Come on, Polly, Brian replied, playfully tossing a pillow at him. But seriously, you and Eric should get to know her better. She's perfect for Alex. Speaking of relationships, when are things moving forward for you and Caroline? Alex asked. Are you thinking of moving in together? This is coming from the guy who asked his girlfriend to move in the very first time they were together, Brian shot back. Come on, Bri, Alex challenged. Those are totally different situations. But yeah, I did, and I haven't regretted it for a second. She's the one for me. I think I'm feeling the same way, Brian said. I'm not rushing into buying a ring just yet, and I couldn't even look on Saturday because she was right there checking out everything, but I have the jeweler's number. I'll reach out soon. Talking to Anna really made things clearer for me and Care. I heard about that, Alex said seriously. Heard about what? Dan asked, trying to keep up with the conversation. I missed that. She wrote about it in an app we both use, Alex explained. It's kind of like a journal. She adds her thoughts, and I can read what she's written. My clever girl found a way to talk to me without using text. No one else could see her messages. So, what did you hear? Dan asked again. Oh, right, Alex replied. When Brian and Caroline visited on Sunday evening, Anna shared some surprising thoughts about their challenges. She first admitted that she didn't know much about relationships. She mentioned her own ideas about prenups, but later looked at it from another angle. This helped Brian and Caroline find some peace with their parents' concerns. Let me guess, Eric chimed in. They think he's just after her money and looks? Exactly, Brian said. But here's the wild part. She came on to me long before I intended to be with her, and I have more money than they do. What? Polly exclaimed, shaking his head. That is surprising. I'll take a bit of credit for that, Eric joked, nodding at each of them as if he were being praised. His help with their financial issues had really helped them. So, are we ready to get cleaned up and put on these suits? Dan asked, gathering the beer bottles. The funny thing was, even though Dan pretended not to like wearing suits, he was always focused on making sure their ties were straight and their coats were perfect. Gentlemen, this way, please, the photographer said, taking more pictures from different angles. The girls had already posed, so Alex knew they were only minutes away from starting the ceremony. He couldn't wait to see his bride. All right, I've got everything, she assured them as she checked a few final details. Alex, gentlemen, please take your places, Father B instructed. Dan shook hands with Alex before heading to the back of the room. The guests, who had been chatting, now settled into their seats, ready for the ceremony to start. As the doors opened, Savannah, Sarah, and Sam walked together as they had practiced during rehearsal. At that moment, soft music began playing. The photographer took photos, and then Caroline signaled for them to take their places. "Baby, baby, baby, baby," sang the music, as Father B called for everyone to please stand. In that moment, Anna appeared in the doorway, Dan holding her arm. Together, they walked down the aisle as the rest of the music played. Seeing his lovely bride standing there was one thing, but when Alex saw that she and Dan had planned this beautiful entrance together, he was overwhelmed with emotion. His eyes filled with tears as he tried to steady himself. How had his life turned out so wonderfully? Anna's eyes sparkled too, and when she noticed Alex crying, she smiled and bit her lip, which was something she often did. As the music faded, Alex gently took Anna's hands and kissed them. The priest signaled for everyone to sit again, and the ceremony began. "I, Alex, take you, Anna, to be my wife. Today I stand here amazed by you. You have brought me a happiness I never knew existed. I want to be everything you need, and I will do everything I can so that we can share our lives together because we can achieve anything. I love you, Anna. With all my heart, I'm yours. I, Anna, take you, Alex, to be my husband. I am grateful for you. You have given me a life I didn't know was possible. I promise to love you more each day, and I am committed to your happiness. I love you, Alex. With all my heart, I'm yours." They exchanged rings, shared sweet words and blessings, and then came the moment everyone had been waiting for, the announcement and the kiss. "Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you for the first time Mr. and Mrs. Alexander and Christiana McLean." Once the cheers faded, a hush fell over the crowd. Alex couldn't take his eyes off his bride, now his wife. "Alex, you may kiss your bride," Father B said softly. As Alex leaned in, the DJ played the song that had welcomed Anna, and it felt just right. Alex held Anna close and kissed her tenderly, making sure to be respectful in front of their guests. Just the night before, they had kissed in a way that had everyone buzzing with excitement. When Alex finally let her go, they turned to face the crowd. Everyone stood and applauded as Alex and Anna led the bridal party down the aisle. More pictures were to be taken. They both smiled as Brian and Caroline, followed by Savannah and Dan, Sarah and Eric, and Sam and Paulie, made their way to the back of the room. Father B shook Alex's hand and then took Anna's hand, kissing it gently. The guests were invited to enjoy drinks and find their seats at the tables while the bridal party posed for photographs. Soft music played in the background as everyone chatted happily. "Come here for a moment," Alex whispered to Anna. He quietly led her into a small storage room. "Let me see you," he said, holding her at arm's length. "Oh, Anna," Alex sighed, filled with love and joy. "You look amazing, my dear," he said warmly as he pulled her into another embrace. "Honestly, I'm just... wow," he breathed. "I recited the vows perfectly," Anna reminded him, as if he hadn't heard her the first time. "You really did, sweetheart," Alex replied, squeezing her tighter. "That's why I brought you in here. I wanted to tell you how wonderful you were and to share a hug. We'll have our kisses later. For now, I just want to hold you." Anna nodded and wrapped her arms around his neck as he lifted her off the ground. "I love you, Anna." "I love you too, Alex," she said, kissing his cheek as he carefully set her down. "Okay, let's see if we can sneak back out there," Alex suggested, taking her hand. He turned off the lights and opened the door to slip back into the crowd. If anyone noticed, no one said a word. "So, you had a few surprises, huh?" Alex said casually. "I heard they're all in the program. I guess we'll find out soon. Let's show the photographer how great we look together. At least how much better I look with you." "Not just you," Anna said, shaking her head. The bridal party walked back up the aisle to watch as Alex and Anna had their photos taken before joining them. There were so many combinations for photos that it was hard to keep track. Finally, they were able to greet their guests as they made their way to their table. A single program lay between their place settings, so they sat closely and began to read it. "Welcome to the wedding of Alex and Anna, Sunday, February 7th, 2021, 5 p.m. Maid of Honor Savannah Martin, Sarah Sullivan, and Sam Doherty. Best friends of the bride. Best man, Brian Urbana, best friend of the groom. Groomsmen, Eric Thompson and Paul Sutherland, friends of the groom, personal attendant. Caroline Demeter, dear friend of the bride, honored attendant for aisle. Dan Folgerty, godfather of the groom, cherished father figure of the bride. No one knew this was happening. Presider, Father Brandon Baltiera, St. Joan of Arc Catholic Church. Something old, Anna's hair clip. It belonged to her mother. Alex did not know this. Something new. Well, everything. Anna's answer. And my watch. It was a gift from my bride. Alex's answer. Something borrowed. Anna's emerald and diamond bracelet. It had belonged to Alex's mother. She'd given it to Dan to one day give to his daughter. Because Anna is now his honorary daughter, he will be gifting it to her. Anna was informed of this just before walking down the aisle. Dan told Alex this Saturday while they were shopping for the wedding. Something blue. Anna's garters, one to keep with a small blue heart tag that has their initials and the date, and one to toss to the eligible men in the room. Alex didn't know about this. Music for the walk down the aisle. The intro to All My Life by KCI and JoJo. No one knew this. Dinner, 6 p.m. to start. Chicken noodle soup and tossed salad with different dressings, served with breadsticks. Main dishes, spaghetti, meatballs, a selection of sauces, lasagna, chicken, and broccoli. Special treat, a single scoop of vanilla ice cream. Dessert, 7 p.m. Cake, white cake with white frosting, which is Anna's favorite, and warm chocolate chip cookies, which is his favorite. Anna didn't know the food plans, but Alex thought she would love it since it reminded them of their first date. Dancing and celebrating, 7:05 p.m., 9 p.m. First dance, All My Life by KCI and JoJo. Alex didn't know this. Bouquet toss, garter toss. At 9 p.m., Alex and Anna would say goodbye to everyone as they begin their lives as husband and wife. Guests were welcome to stay until 2 p.m. on Monday. They were asked to stop at the main desk to return their keys. Thank you for joining us in our special wedding weekend. We love you and thank God for you. We wish you many blessings until we meet again. Alex and Anna. In memory of our parents, James Alexander MacLean and Catherine Elizabeth Manning MacLean, along with Ana Rosa Sanchez Lopez and Miguel Javier Lopez, we remember them on this most special day of our lives. We ask that you keep them in your thoughts and thank God for the lives we have. Through them, we have found each other. AMM and CMM. We're going to talk about this later, Alex said as he held something up. Tonight, after a little while, he added, making Anna chuckle, we'll either be recovering or resting and then we can chat. He gently touched her face. I love all the surprises. The song for the aisle? Anna, it was perfect. Seeing you with Dan was so special. No, wait, we'll talk about that later. I might get emotional again, he said with a smile. Okay, Anna replied, moving her hands to make space as the servers brought out their first plates. Dinner went well with brief pauses for kisses, and soon they were cutting the cake, playfully feeding each other, and then were called to the dance floor for their first dance. All my life I prayed for someone like you, the song played around them, and I thank God that I finally found you. This is the perfect song, my bride, Alex shared as he spun her around the room. She danced beautifully right next to him. You are my perfect partner, Anna said, placing her hand on the back of his neck. He leaned down and kissed her gently before standing tall again and spinning her around. The song ended much quicker than they wanted, but they knew they had many more dances ahead of them throughout their lives. The bridal party and many guests joined the dance floor to celebrate joyfully as lively music filled the air. Cake was served, and Alex and Anna enjoyed their own small pieces. Alex offered Anna a warm, gooey cookie. Anna playfully whispered in his ear that she hoped it wouldn't be the only sweet thing he would enjoy that evening. Alex promised her that it was one of the first things he wanted to do with her. They were both excited for what was to come. Then Anna was called to the dance floor, where a chair was waiting for her. She sat down and smiled as Alex walked over to join her. The guys in the room cheered loudly as they knew a special moment was about to happen. The DJ played a fitting song which made the crowd cheer even more. Alex knelt in front of Anna and gently slid his hand from her ankle to her knee. Anna smiled as he kissed her knee. Then, with a light touch, he continued searching for her garter. He made sure to check around her outfit playfully, winking at her and joking that he was just making sure everything was as it should be. Once he found the garter, he lifted it high in the air, celebrating his success. Not surprisingly, Brian caught the garter, receiving pats on the back from Eric and Paulie. After that, Dan handed the bouquet to Anna, happily choosing not to try to catch the garter himself. She smiled at him and then turned to face the group of girls waiting with their arms ready. Alex watched as everyone counted down from 3, and then Anna tossed the flowers behind her. It seemed like Savannah would catch it for sure, but to everyone's surprise, Caroline jumped in and caught the bouquet instead. Savannah hugged her friend in excitement, congratulating her. "That was close," Alex commented, as Savannah stood beside her friend's new husband. "Not my turn yet, and look how happy they are," Savannah replied. "Oh, it looks like you're needed." "Go smile with the other happy couple," he said, smiling as he walked over to stand with Anna, Caroline, and Brian. Alex took a moment to be thankful for Savannah's friendship with his wife and hoped she would find the happiness she deserved in her own life. Since no one knew when the guests would leave the next day, they stood around saying goodbye from about 8:30 to a little after 9. Several guests exchanged phone numbers. The 6 parents and the S's were scheduled to take a limo home the next day, while most others had parked their cars in the hotel garage. Finally, Alex was ready to take his bride away. As Alex and Anna gathered their things from their table, Caroline had organized a special send-off, with everyone lining up on either side of the walkway to the door. Anna laughed and held Alex's hand as they left the room for the first time as husband and wife. At the door, Anna turned to hug her 3 best friends. Alex shook Dan's hand and gave him a friendly pat on the back before turning to his best friend. As Anna embraced Caroline, Brian gave Alex a big hug and wished him a wonderful night. In the elevator, Anna looked at her husband and gazed into his eyes. Alex leaned down and gently touched his forehead to hers. "I love you, my beautiful bride," he said, holding her hands. "I love you too, Alex, so much," she replied, squeezing his hands. "Ready?" "So ready, sweet girl," he said, giving her a playful wink as they waited for the elevator to take them to their room. "Here we are," Anna said, waiting for him to open the door. Alex turned and picked her up, carrying her into the room before closing the door behind them. He set her down and held her against the wall in the hallway. "I want to enjoy everything all at once, but I also want to cherish every moment," Alex explained, tracing a finger along her side. The feel of her dress made him excited for what was to come. "I want this night to be one we always remember." "Alex, please kiss me," Anna said softly as he continued to trace his finger gently around her. Alex leaned down and kissed her forehead, then her nose, followed by her left cheek and then her right cheek, before finally kissing her lips. "Yes, my love," she whispered, wrapping her arms around his neck. Alex held her close and kissed her deeply, wanting to remember every detail of this night. He knew he had found someone special, and he planned to cherish this moment forever. While they had many years ahead to enjoy everything, there was really only one wedding night. Anna let Alex stop the kiss and surprised him by gently pushing him. She took his hand and led him to the bedroom. Facing Alex, she slid her hands up his jacket. "Can I?" she asked, smiling when he agreed. Alex helped her pull it off his shoulders. As she placed it on a chair nearby, Alex moved closer and brushed her hair from her neck. "Can I help you with your jewelry, Mrs. McLean?" Alex whispered. Anna felt a shiver as his breath touched her skin. "That bracelet looks so beautiful on you. I loved it when Dan walked you down the aisle. It left me speechless." He unclasped her necklace as he spoke and took hold of her wrist. "It means a lot to me that you have this." "Me too," she said, taking off her earrings and setting them on the dresser. Anna closed her eyes as Alex removed the jeweled clip from her hair. "Did you have this with you?" he asked, kissing her neck. "No, I told Care about it and Dan went to get it," Anna explained. "It felt like she was there a little." "All our parents were there, smiling down on us, sweet girl," Alex whispered, kissing her skin. "I'm so glad you thought to have them help you with this. Now, will you sit?" Anna nodded and moved to the bed. Alex knelt in front of her and took off her shoes. As he touched her legs, Anna leaned back and watched him. Soon, he gently moved her dress to see more of her. "Finally, I can see what's up here," Alex joked. "I wouldn't have done this anywhere else. No one else needs to see what I have right here." "Always, Alex," Anna promised. He playfully pulled down a piece of clothing from her leg. I like this. You should wear it sometimes just to surprise me. You like surprises? Oh, absolutely, Alex replied, tossing the piece onto the dresser to keep it safe. Now where was I? He asked, reaching for her dress again. As he moved the fabric, he stopped when he noticed something unexpected. Oh, no way, you sneaky thing. When did you choose those? At the store, Anna said, running her fingers through his hair. I had white, but these match the dresses, she added. Alex could sense that Anna was starting to feel tired from all the talking they'd done that day, so he decided to keep the conversation light. I really do like them a lot, Alex said with a smile. Anna got up and motioned for him to sit on the bed. She gently took off his tie and watch before kneeling down to help him remove his shoes and socks. As she started unbuttoning his shirt, Alex gently stopped her. Ah, Anna, he said softly, taking a moment to carefully remove her dress. He laid her on the bed, feeling the weight of the special moment between them. Alex carefully kissed her foot, moving up to her ankle, her shin and knee, enjoying every small reaction from her. Her breathing became quicker, and she lightly squirmed, responding to the gentle affection he showed her. Every touch was meant to make her feel cherished, and Alex continued to show his care as he kissed along her skin. She whispered his name softly as he held her, creating a deep connection between them, feeling the warmth of the moment grow stronger. Her body responded, but Alex focused on making her feel valued, taking his time to show how much she meant to him. Afterward, Alex held her close, whispering, I love making you feel this way. He kissed her softly, not wanting the closeness to end, but knowing it was time to move on. Finally, he stood up, removed the rest of his clothes, and returned to her, keeping the connection between them alive. Their eyes met, and with a tender kiss, they expressed their affection, savoring the closeness they shared. The two lay together, content, sharing quiet, meaningful moments, focusing on the bond between them rather than any need for words. Anna and Alex lay close together, wrapped in each other's warmth. They had shared a special moment, and now they rested in the quiet of the night. Anna smiled, feeling content and happy as she held Alex. The bond between them was strong, and she felt grateful for the connection they had. They had spent the evening together, full of love and affection, and the peace that followed filled the room. After some time, Alex stirred and gently kissed Anna's forehead. Did I wake you? He asked softly, his voice warm with care. Anna shook her head and smiled, enjoying the comfort of his presence. Looks like I needed that nap, Alex said with a chuckle. What do you think? Ready for more? His playful tone made Anna smile as she nodded. Alex helped Anna sit up, and they spent the rest of the evening enjoying each other's company, exchanging smiles, soft words, and gentle touches. They shared quiet laughter and moments of affection, deepening the love they already cherished. The night passed in peace, with the two of them simply appreciating the closeness they shared, feeling lucky to have one another. Their connection grew stronger with each moment spent together, and they knew this was only the beginning of many more nights filled with warmth and happiness. Anna and Alex shared a quiet, intimate moment, both smiling in the comfort of their closeness. Anna shifted slightly, adjusting her position, and Alex followed her lead with a soft chuckle. They moved together, finding a comfortable rhythm that allowed them to connect deeply without words. Alex gently held her, and they both let out quiet sighs of contentment as they enjoyed the moment. Their connection grew with each passing second, their movements easy and relaxed, simply appreciating each other's presence. Afterward, Alex held Anna close, his breath soft against her hair. You're amazing, Anna, he whispered, his tone full of sincerity. I'll never take you for granted. He smiled down at her, filled with gratitude for the bond they shared. Anna looked up at him, returning the smile, and kissed his chin gently before snuggling into his embrace. They shared a quiet laugh, feeling a sense of happiness that only deepened as the night went on. As they lay together, Alex kissed her softly, playfully teasing her with a light-hearted tone. I'm never going to get enough of this, he said between quick kisses that made Anna laugh. His humor lightened the mood even more, and Anna laughed as she held him close. Shower? Anna asked after they had settled down. Alex nodded, helping her up as they moved toward the bathroom together. In the shower, they continued their gentle, affectionate connection. Alex washed her with care, the moment filled with warmth and tenderness. There was no rush, just a simple act of caring for each other. When it was Anna's turn, she returned the favor, showing her love through small, thoughtful gestures. They enjoyed each other's presence, cherishing the peaceful intimacy they shared. As they wrapped up, Alex joked with a grin, "You know, we must be quick learners. We just get each other so well." Anna laughed, shaking her head as she playfully hit him with the towel she was using to dry her hair. "Thank you," she said with a smile, enjoying the light-hearted moment they had created together. Their night continued with laughter, warmth, and the deep connection they both treasured. Alex and Anna put on their robes and tied the belts, knowing they had more time to enjoy each other later. They shared a smile, both excited for what the night would bring. "You know what I meant earlier, right?" Alex asked. "Yes, but I wanted to say it right," Anna responded with a playful tone. "Don't worry about it," Alex said, offering his hand. "So, we've tried a few things tonight. What do you want to do next?" "Let's see what happens," Anna said with a grin. "Maybe we can sit on the couch?" Alex agreed and followed her into the living room. The large windows offered a stunning view of the city below. Alex sat down first, then motioned for Anna to sit in front of him. He gently pulled the top of her robe off her shoulders so her back faced him. "Remember the first time I gave you a back rub?" Alex asked as he began massaging her neck and shoulders. "It led to something special." "It was amazing," Anna whispered. "It sure was," Alex said, smiling as he continued the massage. "I think I might have done this too," he teased, his hands moving gently down her back. Anna sighed and leaned against him, enjoying the moment. "You're really good at this," she said, closing her eyes. She reached back to touch his head, turning to kiss him softly. Their kiss deepened and they both enjoyed the closeness. Anna turned to face him, kneeling on the couch as she let her robe fall. She smiled at him and wrapped her arms around his shoulders, pulling him closer. They shared a moment of connection, embracing each other fully. It wasn't about anything more than the love and care they felt for one another. They held each other tightly, cherishing the bond that had grown stronger with time. As the night wore on, they stayed close, simply enjoying the peace and quiet. Alex held Anna in his arms, just as he had when she needed comfort before. He stroked her hair gently, and they both felt at peace in each other's embrace. Alex soon pulled his robe around his shoulders to stay warm. "I love you," he told his wife with a soft sigh as he held her close. "I love you too," Anna murmured against his robe. "Did you enjoy that?" she asked, shifting slightly. "Honey, enjoy doesn't cover how I feel," Alex replied, looking at her beautiful face, which captivated him completely. "Kiss me, my lovely girl," he said, and they shared a deep, tender kiss, holding each other tightly as if they might disappear. "I don't want to move," Anna complained, resting her head against his neck. "Then don't, my dear," Alex answered, watching as she put her arms back in her robe. "If we fall asleep, we'll wake up later and go to bed, or we can see what the night brings us." "Okay," Anna whispered, kissing his ear gently. "I love you," she said softly. "I'm a lucky guy," Alex declared, even though he was sure Anna hadn't heard him. She had already fallen asleep, her gentle snores filling the quiet room. He felt content and relaxed, both of them comfortably close. Anna woke up and slowly opened her eyes. It was still dark, with only some soft light shining through the open curtains. She leaned over and kissed Alex, startled when he responded. She brushed her lips against his cheek and cradled his head. "Sorry," she whispered, kissing him again. "I didn't mean to wake you." "It's okay," Alex mumbled, gently covering her head with his hand. "We were bound to wake up eventually." He looked down but knew he wouldn't see much in the dim light. "Am I still close to you?" Anna pretended to think about it before giving a small shrug. "Maybe just nearby. It's warm, that's for sure." "You think it's warm?" Anna asked playfully, moving slightly closer to him. Alex smiled and held her tighter. "Want to be close again?" she whispered against his cheek, feeling the spark of closeness. "You know it," Alex replied, his heart racing. He gently laid her down so she could relax on the robe she had been wearing. "I'm yours. You love me," Anna teased, wrapping her legs around him. "You wanted this," she continued with a playful smile. "Absolutely," Alex said with a grin, feeling thankful for their special bond. They enjoyed the moment together, feeling happy and connected. As they enjoyed their time together, Alex felt he could make the moment last. He knew he would feel joy again, especially because Anna had a special way of moving that always made him feel excited. This moment was no different for them. Breathless and smiling, Alex and Anna kissed lightly, feeling comfortable with each other. They were both very close and shared a deep bond that made their relationship stronger each time they were together. "Meeks," Alex said playfully, nudging Anna's ear. "I think I just found my new favorite nickname for you." "Don't make fun," Anna replied, pretending to be upset. "I'm serious," Alex said. "You always start things and I just can't resist you. Not that I see a reason to resist," he added with a grin. "And how will you explain this to others?" Anna asked curiously. "Lots of people have nicknames," Alex replied, giving her a quick kiss on the cheek. "They don't need to explain, and we don't have to either. From now on, you're my Meeks." "But it's not even the right word," Anna said with a little sigh. "That's what makes it special," Alex explained. "Brian has Care, which is simple and comes from her name. Maggie got her nickname from a funny mistake with her phone. When it auto-corrected during a text, it turned into something new and just stuck. It's hilarious how it all happened." "Well, what about you?" Anna asked, planting a kiss on his chin. "We'll think of one for me later," Alex promised. "They always come when you least expect them, and I will always call you Anna, my love. Sweet girl is another favorite of mine." "I like that one," Anna replied, cuddling into him. "Oh, I know that cuddle," Alex said playfully. "No, my girl. We're going to sleep in bed after we have a nice soak in the tub. Come on," he urged as he stood and offered his hand to help her up. In the tub, they sat facing each other, enjoying the closeness that had become so normal for them. Anna loved how Alex held her, washing away the day's cares. Sometimes they would steal kisses or gently touch each other, but mostly they just cherished being together. After about 30 minutes, Alex nodded to suggest it was time to get out and head to bed. He helped Anna stand first before he got up and stepped out of the tub. He grabbed a clean towel from the wall, wrapped it around himself, and took another to dry her off. He made sure to give Anna special care as he dried her gently from head to toe. Once they were done, Anna wrapped a towel around herself and helped him dry off. When they finished, they tossed their towels onto the growing pile of linens and walked to the bed. It wasn't long before soft snores filled the room as they both slept close to each other. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to Infidelity Plus to stay updated with more captivating tales of infidelity and payback. Turn on notifications so you're the first to see our latest content.